how do I put it? It was like, what do you care about them? What do you care about those people? What difference does it make to you? Take care of your own life. Do the best you can for you and your family. What do the rest of the people mean to you? They don't mean anything to you. They're just serfs. They're just people. You know, what's the end goal? The end goal is to get everybody chipped, to control the whole society. They want a one-world government controlled by them. Everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip.
Welcome back to the show that Lord Schwab loves to hate. It's Rise Above, comrades.
Rise above, generate, rise above, extinguish fear, rise above, abstract.
Now, first of all, I must address the fact that myself, the General, will be holding this broadcast tonight. Unfortunately, your trusty host, Double L, has been crushed under the weight of his own memes and been sent directly to Sugar Mountain's gulag. Now, the last time I came on this show, I came here representing what I thought was a fair and just medical fascistic dictatorship. I came here representing the Soviet Union last time, comrades. However, there's been a change of heart with myself and some of my colleagues at the Union. Ever since we've been asked to fight along neo-Nazis in the Ukraine to protect our biolabs and to fight against Commander Putin, we've decided to defect. At the 11th hour, we've jumped ship and we've decided to join Team Rise Above. That's right. Lord Schwab says. So, I'm taking over this broadcast for another reason. Tonight, we are in peace talks with a notorious anti-Soviet warlord who goes by the name of JD Gorilla. Welcome to the stream, comrade.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. Now, we will be chatting to JD throughout the evening. He is going to be taking the place of Andy PG. Unfortunately, he's also been sent to a Soviet institution. He's been touched by the Divok. The last we heard of him was that his mouth tastes like the waste pipe from a Ukrainian biolab. So, yeah, he'll be calling us tonight, though, but he won't be joining us in the studio. And Inner Guardians will be with us in about 10 minutes' time, I believe. So tonight, the Book of JD. We've got a lot to talk about, bro. It's going to be a good one tonight. We're going to run for about 3 hours, something like that. But as per usual, on Rise Above, we've got some regular business to get through. Okay. So, what's coming up in the next couple of weeks? Oh, sorry, this is an epic meme here by the one they call Anti-Soviet. This is the guerrilla anti-Soviet warlord JD upon a pile of dead corpses. Namely, who's that? Who have we got here? Like a dinosaur that looks like Lord Schwab. Yeah, we've got Boris.
Boris is there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's what's his name? The creator of the. What's his bloody name?
What, the creator of the metaverse?
No, the other guy, Dr. Fauci.
Oh, Fauci, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Fauci's on there as well. Yeah. So this is actually work by anti-Soviet Diego Tequila and Double L. He came up with the idea, and these two memed it. So big shout out to those two. Right, on next week's show, we are going to have a breathing, meditation, and wellness episode special. We're going to be welcoming Toroidal Dynamics, Sam, who is a breathwork guru. Double L stayed with him out in Mexico. And we've also got Sagehead, our meme commander. He's going to be coming on talking about horticulture and his love of plants and how they can be good for the soul and for well-being and stuff like that. And in the Guardians, it's also going to be giving us some mental and mind exercises for our mental well-being. Sounds good?
Sounds brilliant.
Yeah.
Sounds like what the world needs.
Exactly. The week after next, Rise Above will take a break on a Friday. There will be a midweek show of some description, okay? And then the week after that, we will return And you've got to look at his customer services. That's some excellent work there from Commander Sagehead once again. Customer services part 5 will be back regular time of 9 p.m. on a Friday night. As you can see, Commander Putin here and King Jong-un are really enjoying an episode of Rise Above and Sheep Farm with their Inner Guardian screensaver. Hunter Biden's laptop is just there on the desk as well. Superb work there. Okay, and a massive shout out to everyone purchasing t-shirts. riseabove.news/shop. That's how you purchase t-shirts if you want to support us. We also have hoodies. There's going to be all types of new merchandise coming soon as well. So a massive shout out to all of the people that are buying t-shirts, modelling them, sending us pictures, and basically representing what we're trying to do out there on the streets, showing your allegiance on your chest. Gosh. Yes.
Avert and exempt.
Yes. What are you rocking tonight, Commander JD?
Avert and exempt, always.
Yes.
I've been in a few shops today. Avert and exempt. And yeah, you get some funny looks, but it's worth it. It's worth it. You get some good looks as well, so it helps you to identify approachable non-covert union members.
Yeah, that's the good thing. Like, just by someone's reaction to the T-shirt, like, I'm not going to pretend that everyone's going to know what Whole Rabbit's all about, but hey, if someone sees Whole Rabbit in the street and they're like, "Whoa, yeah," then you know that's the kind of person you want to be talking to. So yeah, it's not only great to rep on the streets with exempt T-shirts, with the Whole Rabbit or any of the other designs. It also is a great way to show your allegiance to the cause and also to identify other anti-covert guerrilla warlords that might be in our midst. Okay, what have I done with the screen here? So yeah, if you want to get t-shirts, it's riseabove.news/shop. Big shout out to everyone. Oh yeah, and there are girls designs out now. Here we've got Laura and Becky S rocking the unisex designs. I have since then got like fitted girls t-shirts with exclusive trans geisha and bunny geisha rabbit designs. There's got to be some rabbit in there somewhere. Okay, right. On a more serious note, actually, on a really fucking inspirational note, I've got to be honest. This is a shout. This meme here, this little thing here, a quote by Carl Jung. This was inspired by the experience I had on, I'll break character now, the experience I had on Wednesday when I attended Master Lee's Ideas Dojo. Okay, it's like a Zoom meeting. I think there was 20 or 30 people, and it was a sharing of ideas, a sharing of people coming together, sharing their stories. Man, I was really touched by some of the things I heard in there, because I got to put some faces to screen names, which I don't often get to do, which is nice for us. And, I heard from one lady a really harrowing story. She'd lost members of her family. She didn't have anyone to turn to. She'd come across Rise Above. She's like, wow, there are other people thinking like me. That was really, really touching. And just to hear, how the platform has helped people. So a massive shout out to everyone that is attending Master Lee's Ideas Dojo on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock. If you want to get involved with that, I'm sure he's going to give you some details about that when he comes on later. Maybe one of the admins can put the Inner Guardian's Gmail address in the comments. Every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. You fancy coming along to that one week?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it was really good. People were talking about protecting their assets, growing food, survival tips, how to save energy. That was a big one.
Well, sounds like my kind of place. I'm trying to learn all of that myself right now. And it's a never-ending rabbit hole in itself.
Absolutely. And it obviously helps if you've got other people to bounce ideas off, other people that are in the same position as you, that are, wanting to find solutions to the problems that are facing everyone, whether you're paying attention or not. These problems are facing everyone.
The kind of people that do these things as well are the kind of people that want to help other people just out of the kindness of their heart as well.
Yeah.
You will find, not everyone of course, but like a lot of my bad. A lot of the people that want to live that lifestyle are the kind of people that want to help other people out of the goodness of their heart. So when you attend things like this, you meet a lot of good people. I mean, since I've done my off-grid thing, so many people have sorted me out and helped me out with either time or
building networks
things or information. Do you know what I mean?
We're going to be talking about your new project a little bit later on. So yeah, put that on a back burner. But yeah, networks. This is something that was being talked about in this group about, you know, what the benefits are of forming networks. Don't wait for things to go wrong. Form them now. So, you know, if you are one of those people that is wanting to meet other like-minded people, there really is nothing better than going into one of these groups. And before you know it, you might have formed another little network, you know, of people with skills, transferable skills. Excellent stuff. What have we got next? Okay, so as per usual on Rise Above, if you're new to the show and you're wondering what the hell's going on a Friday night, we like to chew the caveat cud about what's been going on in the news stream that week. We obviously have guests tonight. My guest is JD Gorilla, also my co-host for the evening. But, you know, some people come for that, but they stay for the memes, comrade. They stay for the memes. And this week, as every week, you know, we always have a little chuckle to ourselves here at Rise Above. How are we going to beat last week? How are we going to beat the memes from last week? Well, we'll start off like this. This is from Sagehead. It's sort of, you know, this speaks for itself. We're not about swimming with the shoal here. It's better to be the one person going in the opposite direction 100%. Than all of those peasants over there. Don't do that, whatever you do. Everyone that's watching knows what I mean. This is very, very, very seminal piece here from Commander Sagehead. Big up everyone that's tuned in. So, like I was saying, the general's here tonight because Double L is been put into Al Gore's sin bin. And this is a meme from last week, but I had to show it again. Rise and Shine, proper killing it. One of the really, really promising new members to the meme squad. So Al Gore's rhythm, he's coming for you. He's got an 80s boombox over his shoulder. He's got Mr. T chains. You don't want to meet this guy on the dance floor. Even with our occult camouflage, because in case, right, what does this meme say to you, right? Because, you know, you've got to watch the show to understand this one. What was it saying to you?
Well, all I can see is Master Lee in a rabbit hole, man. That's all you need to know, innit?
Yeah, that's the best bit of this fight, is Master Lee down the rabbit hole, like camouflage as a rabbit. The idea of this one, basically, me and Master Lee were having this conversation the other week. We were saying that some people keep getting taken down the strikes. We've been quite lucky recently. And he was saying maybe it's because we put so much occult imagery and their stuff into our shows, like 33. Maybe, right, when Al Gore is scanning through all these long streams and he just sees all this 33 stuff, yeah, it's just like, oh, nah, that's our work, leave it alone, right? So we came up with this idea of this occult camouflage, and I explained the concept to oh, here he is. Welcome, Sensei. Salutations, Master Lee.
Salutations, everybody.
Do you remember our conversation about occult camouflage?
Yeah.
Here it is, memed into existence, courtesy of Sagehead.
Excellent stuff.
I've just seen it. It's your underground dojo. Rabbit Warren number 33.
Yeah, that's in the making. That is.
Oh right, okay. It's not gonna have a sign outside for number 33 though. But yeah, I mean, even Al Gore in the background there, he's got like a rabbit catching Inspector Gadget backpack on. This is proper good, proper bow, I tell thee. And I'm dressed as Zorro as well. but anyway, with the point of the story is this meme didn't work on me this week. I did get sent to Al Gore's sin bin. There was blood on the dance floor. He struck me down. But once again, what did I get struck down for? All I was doing was showing my support for the Azov Battalion with this fundraiser that was made by Sagehead. Now, the last time I checked, even according to the new rules at Sugar Mountain, you are allowed to actually support neo-Nazis as long as they're killing Russians. You've seen about this. Yeah. So I did go to the appeals body at Sugar Mountain, and I wrote a whole lengthy essay about how all I was doing was showing my support for the Ukrainian National Guard. You know, and I showed the article from Reuters that explained that you are allowed to show your support for Azov Battalion. The rules about the far right and neo-Nazis have just temporarily been lifted because now it's okay, right? Obviously, this is, you know, epic clown world here, but I haven't heard back, so I've still got 28 days of my ban left, unfortunately.
Even on eBay, you can now buy T-shirts. promoting the death of Putin.
Can you?
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it alongside like a rip-off of Sagehead's meme that I support the current thing? Have you seen how far that's going around? Even Paul Joseph Watson used that in his video. Used one of our memes. So that Sagehead's meme has now been used by Elon Musk, JP Sears, Paul Joseph Watson, and it's being sold on their t-shirts as well. Absolute rip-off.
It might be worth scanning the eBay for the t-shirts of that meme. It's probably on there somewhere.
It is. We've seen it.
Oh, on eBay. I thought it was Amazon.
Oh, was it on Amazon? I thought it was on eBay. But yeah. So
Same
we're gonna.
thing, really.
Yeah, it's the same. I said to Sagehead, we need to up our security on our IP, our intellectual property. So now our imagery is going to be woven into the memes much more intrinsically. You can't just like crop out at the bottom and get rid of the Rise Above logo anymore. It's not going down like that.
It's going to be like when you get the photos off Photo Lab and it's just printed all over it and ruins fucking everything. So
yeah, oh yeah, they just because all over the top just Rise Above, Rise Above, Rise Above. You can't even see the meme. But at the end of the day, my memeticians work around the clock. They work in 25-hour shifts around the clock. So we never miss anything. They deserve recognition. I'm not having people rip off our memes.
Well, we've got to
Not on my
keep up
watch.
with the infinite content creators, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got to. Speaking
They're on
of-
8 days a week.
Yeah, they work 465 days a year. Speaking of the infinite content creator, this is Rise and Shine's depiction of the World Economic Forum's fancy dress party showing support for the Ukraine. Boris is Mr. Potato Head. Is that Macron as the virus? Is that Macron or is that Jokovic? Oh, it's Jokovic.
Yeah.
Rough Needle appearing as himself. Master Ginny appearing as himself. And Lord Schwab appearing as himself, aka Darth Vader.
Schwab Vader.
Schwab Vader. I like that. So, yeah, when we have the new website sorted out soon, Sagehead and JB are working on that with Tom from 528 Create behind the scenes. The memes are going to be properly archived, all labelled, all available from download. They'll be sorted into each individual memetician, maybe different folders, and so they're very easily accessible. Because, yeah, I can't keep up with it. Like I say, I got crushed under the weight of my own memes this week. Right, it's April Fool's Day. So I'm going to say that this one here, this little headline here, that David Icke is going to appear on BBC Strictly Come Dancing. I'm going to say that this is an April Fool's joke. Okay? What do you reckon?
Well, we'll see if he comes out with a fucking reptilian and starts doing the waltz.
Starts doing the worm. Nevertheless, in an alternate reality, in another dimension,
Who's that?
there's a normie version of Master Lee sat watching David Icke win Strictly Come Dancing. Sunita was robbed, I tell ya.
I want to know where all these photos come from of me. I've not seen them.
You want to see some of the ones that
I'm under
Russ Kieran has done? Yeah, right. That doesn't even look like.
I reckon they've paused one of your fights on
Yeah.
YouTube and
Put some shades on. I don't normally fight with shades on.
No, maybe that's from a dog training photo, or
Yeah.
maybe that's the one where you're kicking the air outside the off-grid dojo. You got shades on then.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, wait until we see the full Brittany Bullseye comic strip coming from Russ Kieran. He's literally dug through all of our personal photos on Facebook, like every single different pose to get the photos he needs. It's fucking epic. Yeah, wait for that one. That's going to come out on the website. So, more. Who's this one from, Sagehead? So, okay, is it on the cards that Hillary Clinton might be coming back? Is this why we've been gifted with this one? I don't know. Has anyone got any ideas? Is Hillary Clinton coming back? Is Lord Schwab overseeing Hillary Clinton's comeback? Prince Andrew and Bill Cosby are here, celebrating over some pizza.
well, the Clintons, they've got a high position, haven't they?
Well, they don't. It's not like they're really going anywhere, whether they're in office or not. They don't really go anywhere. They're still always in the sphere of influence.
Mm.
Yeah.
At Domino's Pizza.
Well, he's banned from Pizza Express
Yeah.
after lying about
Sweating
being there
his
before.
tits off.
Yeah, after MI5 go round and start like swabbing Pizza Express, they're like, we've got the CCTV. He wasn't even here. This is some more epic work. Who's this by? Is this Sagehead? This is what's this? Is this the Queen's funeral? Oh no, the Queen's there. The Queen's Jubilee, or nah, it's too late for that. What's going on? What's the next thing with the Queen that they said she's too ill to go to?
I don't even know. I was looking.
It's about to happen next week, and everyone's talking about is she even alive? So who's there?
I'm just looking at Prince Andrew, for fuck's sake.
But you've got to really look at this. Let me get rid of the graphics. There's a lot of characters in here. Do you know what? I might have to take this hat off. It's hurting my head. Let me get rid of these graphics here. So yeah, what's Prince Andrew's reading Hustler? Jimmy Savile's like looking right over him. Like, let's have a look at that. Who else have we got?
He's looking at the creche.
Is that on the other side of Prince Andrew? He's guarding it. Sausage Fingers has turned into Sausage Head. And they've got Cornerstone at the front, right next to Bram Stoker's Dracula. Oh no, it's Princess Anne. What's her name?
I thought it was Margaret Thatcher for a minute.
Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Dracula. Oh, it's so good. What a bunch of misfits and degenerates. Is that a meme or is that Covey art? I think that's just... it looks like real life. I'm going to put this one in the Telegram because this is brilliant. This should be everyone's Facebook background. Jabby Dodgers rise above flavour. Auntie Covey is absolutely killing it. I've been busting up Terror Slim's inbox because I can't post on Facebook. I've got to get rid of these memes somehow. I'm just palming them off to people. It's like, I can't wait till the show on Friday. Just get rid of these memes. Yeah, massive shout out to Auntie Covey. We've got some new members coming too as well. Yes,
According to the science, we should all be dead.
Yeah,
it did actually cross my mind. Well, it did cross my mind that maybe we are all dead. We just don't know it.
Maybe we've died and gone to post-Covey at heaven. But like,
yeah. Been uploaded.
Yeah, maybe we have been uploaded. We're all going to live for 150 years now.
Or we've been left behind.
But like, I was thinking, oh yeah, did you hear today that apparently there are more cases of Coveyism in the UK today, than there have been throughout the whole pandemic at any other one point? 5 million cases. So they reported today. So I'm going to say it's absolutely obscenely ludicrous. If they try to bring back the Soviet Union like full scale, people are going to start pretending that it's real again, aren't they? And then we're going to have like we're going to have to explain that. Wait a minute, we're 2 years in. And they're going to call me.
We're done explaining, mate. You can't. If they go in again, just fucking leave them.
Just line them up against the wall and shoot them in the back of the head, comrade. They're gone. They're finished. Bro. But it's like when someone calls you a tinfoil hatter again, when the old arguments come back, they're going to be like, I'm literally going to say this. I'm going to say, do you know what? I'm fucking proud of my tinfoil hat. My tinfoil hat has protected my health. It's protected my freedom. I didn't lose any. I did not see my friends and family because my tinfoil hat told me it was okay. I didn't get sick.
Didn't get myocarditis.
I didn't get myocarditis. I haven't permanently altered my DNA. Like,
still a fully fledged human being.
Yeah, I'm still human 1.0. I swear by my tinfoil hat, comrade. Yeah, I don't know what round 3. It was sort of round 3, wouldn't it?
I asked the question on Wednesday, what people thought about if they brought lockdown back in. Do we think that the normosphere would comply this time round?
Will the normulus comply?
Yes, they will.
What do you reckon? What you say?
Yes, they will. I will.
In the same numbers?
Probably.
Roughly,
yeah.
It's not going to change that much, is it?
I've seen too much in the last 2 years. I've seen too much to have any faith in
the things.
Can we ask the chat?
Certain people.
Can we ask the chat?
Yeah. Right. How should we get people to put it in? We need like a number. What's it? 50-50 would say it stays the same. Are we going to have like 70-30? Are we going to have 90-10? People? No. How can we get this? How can people put something easy in the comments that's going to give their
we'll
gauge?
Just keep it simple, right? So if they bring lockdowns exactly the same as they did last time round, okay. So stay at home and all that stuff.
All right, Soviet Union
So-
round 3
so-
comes back in, yeah.
Yeah, close your business, close the gyms, blah blah blah.
Right.
Same as the hardest lockdown we had previously, because there was
Yeah.
kind of different variants of lockdowns. If we go for the hardest one, let's say they announce it on Monday that in a week's time we're going to go into full lockdown.
Yeah.
Do the chat think that that people will comply, or will they just say no, we're not doing it? And just say yes or no, or if they can say yes, no, and then the percentage is up to them.
Well, Marky Boy says 90. I guess that means 90% of people will comply. But Northwest says 33%. What else have we got? Normies always comply, according to Mr. Rude. You can see him come up on the screen here.
See, I reckon.
Oh, Pat Wright says 33% each way.
Yeah, but
I
maybe
can't
the
take the
ones
third
that
option.
wouldn't have already dropped dead of base poisoning at the Britney Spears concert.
The way that I look at it is this. People that have been to enough Britney Spears concerts are going to fall into two categories. They're going to go harder into being a pro-Coviet, or they're going to be a smaller amount of people that, like, I've had two, they've all died of a heart attack, I'm not having any more mush, fuck that. And I think there'll be a small amount of those people. But they will have possibly been created by them trying it again. So it's a complicated one, I think.
Yeah, well, I think I think they will, and the reason why, not because they're scared of it or anything like that, and not even because they want to stay at home and work from home and all that stuff. I think largely because it will just give them confirmation that they weren't wrong.
Yeah, because if they're starting to get iffy about whether the mayo pericarditis is worth it or not, or all the things you've seen, all the contradictions, it will provide them with sort of something to fall back on. Oh no! It was worth it because it's bad enough for them to do another lockdown.
Because think about it, right? If we don't have any restrictions or lockdown, and the government just forget about it, it's almost an embarrassment to those that went along with it. Because the mere fact that they're not doing it again at the moment means that they were kind of wrong. So if they were to bring it back in any way, I think a lot of the general population will be all over it, because like I said, it offers them confirmation that they weren't wrong for the last 2 years.
And I think there's some people that already blatantly miss it and are gutted that we're not in full Coviet level right now. Because you can see those people at the supermarket, the ones that are still gripping their mask and stepping away from people and stuff like that.
Or walking down the street in the middle of a park on their own with no one in 100-meter radius, still wearing a face nappy.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of think
I've
that
seen
those
that.
that are still wearing it are either stupid or possibly ugly.
Yeah.
They might have
trying to
been
think of a
looking for
polite
an
way of saying
excuse to wear. They might have been looking for an excuse to wear a mask for a long time, for all we know.
Yeah.
Maybe they're looking for the justification. Do you remember last week in the Guardians when we asked Mark Devlin about Kate Bush, and you're saying the song that she wrote? Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this got made. The man with the child in his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Had to involve Jimmy Savile at some
Yeah.
point.
I'm still on the fence with Kate Bush. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at the whole thing,
What did you think about what he said?
well, to be honest, I didn't want to kind of go into a debate about it on the show. I didn't really see the point of that. But there's a number of factors, and I kind of alluded towards it after we spoke about it last week, and that a lot of these people are actually victims, and I still kind of stand by what I've said before. I can't really see what Kate Bush has done in this realm that's been so evil and demonic to warrant being a dark occultist, even though she may have played a part in that sort of spectrum, because at the end of the day she's a celebrity, and I think it's fair
But
to say
what
that
he'd uncovered was sort of in line with what I'd heard you say, and like with regards to the Wilhelm Reich stuff, was it Wilhelm Reich?
Wilhelm
And the
Reich.
cloud seeding and that, which I thought was very interesting. So I guess
But
it's a
thing is,
matter of perception.
Well, he got killed by the Cabal, and all his work got burnt. So,
Right.
you know, what he was doing, was it for or against? He was alluding towards the free energy and Tesla and all of that, and that there's a particular type of energy that can be harvested for humanity. So it was kind of like what do you call it? Like spilling the beans.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I've got no affiliation with Wilhelm Reich or anything like that. But I just think he's a very interesting character. Yeah. I just think he's a very interesting character.
Do you think it's a coincidence that Alan Partridge was obsessed with Kate Bush? You know, sung Kate Bush medleys and quoted her lyrics?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I just think once you're on the radar in the celebrity world, then obviously you're going to be used for all sorts. But I also stand by what I say, that even if you have been a part of that world, it doesn't mean that you're not going to realize one day or wake up that you don't want to be a part of it, especially if you've been groomed into it from a child. And this is what kind of confused me a little bit, because Mark alluded towards that she had been groomed from the age of 13 or something.
Oh, wow.
So isn't she a victim in this?
Well, yeah, I mean, there is the argument that all of the people that were born into ritualistic abuse network families, yeah, they're all victims to a certain extent. Whether they go on to commit atrocities or not is, you know, down to the individual case, and in some cases a matter of opinion, I guess.
Well, I'd be more interested to know about the atrocities that Kate Bush has done to the world and people. I can't think of any.
Well, I mean, Mark didn't really allude to any. I think I think what he really alluded to was she was mixed up with the occult. He didn't actually say she'd done anything dark. It was more to do with she mixed up with the occult. And obviously everyone's got their own perception on that and their own opinions about whether you should dabble in the occult at all, even if it's for service to others. But yeah, it was a good meme anyway. Other subject we mentioned last week that got memed. We were talking about old Rough Needle, or Raf Nadal, and his relationship with the Djokovic. And you know how the Djokovic didn't apparently get the Britney Spears. Rough Needle did have the Britney Spears. Said Djokovic should have had it. Djokovic is fine, but Rough Needle's got chest pains and breathing problems. Feels like a needle going in and out. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it, but they're pushing it, aren't they, at the moment? However they can, that it isn't that's causing heart failure in fit young men.
Is it just a coincidence that the number one and the number two are in this binary polar opposite thing here, where Djokovic obviously is against it, or on the face of it he is. He's the number one, and the only other person that had a chance of beating him is this guy who is called Rough Needle, right? He is pro-Kovic. He told Djokovic to get the Britney, and now he's lost the last championship, which Djokovic would have been winning if he was there, which he would have been winning if he didn't go to the Britney Spears concert. And now it's like, I feel like a needle's going in and out. It just, I don't know. It's just, for me, it's too theatrical. Is this really, like, is this an organic happening? Rough Needle and Novak Djokovic? Anyway, it morphs into this one. This is from our newest member from the meme team, Affected One. Brilliant work. Really, really good. So, yeah, Rough Needles had one too many rough jabs, and it was all over. But Lord Schwab is now pleased. Excellent work, Novak Djokovic. There's a place for you at the young leaders table. He was a part of the WEF, wasn't he, though? See all that stuff that came out? He's supposed to be against it, part of the World Economic Forum. I can't remember who sent me this one. I can't remember. But Prince Charles's sausage fingers. The NHS have got advice on swollen hands and feet condition. Is this one of those things where art imitates life? Have they been watching Rise Above? Do they know we call him sausage fingers? Or is that a proper medical condition? Is that the medical term? Oh, yeah, sausage fingers. Yeah, you can't eat steroid cream for these sausage fingers. Well, maybe we just had an astute observation. What can I say?
What's happened to Bruce Willis?
Funny you should say that. Wait a minute. Let me just jump ahead.
Hold my meme.
Just got back from Britney Spears, didn't he?
Well, I couldn't find anything that definitely proved that Bruce Willis had... I couldn't find a picture of him going to the Britney Spears concert or anything like that. There was a story about him coming out of a pharmacy and he had a bandana around his neck and the media went mad at him. And then he been this big pour out. Like, I love the Soviet Union. I should have been wearing my mask. Everyone needs to do what they can to protect everyone. That was his pro-Soviet moment. So I'll be fair to this story. I don't have any concrete proof that he did go to the Britney Spears concert. However, what I would say is this. If you're at the level of Bruce Willis, where you are a top A-list Hollywood actor, or albeit at the end of your career, you're going to have had that shit by default to attend anything, and anyone that hasn't taken it has usually made a bit of a song and dance about it. That's what we could... I think it'd be fair to assume that. But anyway, do you remember the film 12 Monkeys? Where you got sent back in time to find out the clues to stop the evil nutters releasing the bioweapon. Should have paid more fucking...
Probably still didn't click, did he?
No, you should have paid more attention to the script, mate. So...
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yeah, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Bruce Willis stepped away from acting following brain damage diagnosis. He's got aphasia, aphasia. Basically means he can't communicate, can't form language. It's not his mouth doesn't work or his brain doesn't work. I think, no, it's brain damage. It's the language part which is degenerated, and it's happened very suddenly over a period of the last few months, according to people near to him.
Are you guys under the impression that going to the Britney Spears concert can speed up things that you may probably
Definitely
have heretically got later on?
Or something that you're already suffering from? What was
Medical
that kid?
prediction.
What was the kid that died this week, 33 years old, who'd been in the band? He had, Terror Slim was posting about it, he had a degenerative brain disease. It's brain cancer. And in October 2021, it was in almost full remission, which was against all the odds, and because he'd been given months to live. And he made a big post about everyone should go and get the Britney. He had the Britney, and he died this week. So in January of 2020, they told him he's got months to live. He's got it in remission in October 2021, back to almost no tumour. And now he's dead after he takes the Britney. So... what could you say?
Well, do you remember I said, I think it was last year, that I'd spoken to somebody from the military who had a long conversation with somebody who was like a military surgeon and so on and so forth. And they said that the idea of these jabs is to create like a prediction. So if you've got any particular weakness, that will be a cost to the NHS in the future, then it will just take you out now, type thing.
Cheeky bastards.
I bet the people...
Kind of makes sense.
Well, think about it. If Dr. David Martin said in his speech, where he goes on about the life insurance companies or the people that own the life insurance companies, which guess what is the same people that own the pharmaceutical companies, the people that own BlackRock and Vanguard, basically. He said, don't think about bankers. It's not about them. It's all about the life insurance companies, because they've got their projections about average life expectancy, about pandemics and stuff like that. They're the ones who make the money off of this, because not only do they make money when everyone dies and on the premiums, because if you die quite suddenly in a hospital rather than dying slowly over 20 years with loads of treatment, that's much better for the premiums. Well, they probably have bets on it and dead pools and huge stakes of these predictions and shit like that.
Well, think about this, right? We all know about the birth certificate and that there's a certain amount put as a bond. So our life is already paid for in advance, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, if they're going to do a digital reset and they're going to crash this kind of old antiquated system, then maybe this is something to do with like predictive health. So rather than them having to put whatever it is, 3 million or 33 million pound per person to pay for your life existence, maybe they're going to reset that and bring it down. so that if they can cue that in with your health, they'll spend less money on healthcare and pensions and treatments. Think about it, because they can't just reset one thing; they have to reset the whole.
And then,
right from the dot.
If you add that together with what that Dr. Yuval Noah Harari, Schwab's bum boy, says, not just about hacking humans, when he talks about the next level of surveillance is going to be literally under your skin. So you'll have nanotech and smart pills that report back in real time what's going on in your sub-tissues, in your stomach, in your bloodstream. Well, who's going to be eating up that information? Who's Al Gore going to be feeding that to? It's going to be going directly to the databases of the people that we're talking about. The people that are making these long-term predictions. It's farming. It's high level. This is what I learned at the COVID union. They told me this.
I think they're downgrading humans to cattle rather than.
Well, they're not technically humans anymore either, are they?
No, it's patentable now, isn't it? If your genome's been changed, with the Lord Schwab can put patent on it.
What's the three categories? Is it cattle, chattel, and something else? Chattel.
Yeah, because the correct term for slavery is chattel slavery, isn't it?
Chattel, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's cattle slavery.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a downgrade.
So, yeah. Aphasia, according to the National Library of Medicine, is a leading side effect from Britney Spears. It's a case report here: a 52-year-old male, sudden onset of reading difficulty and aphasia 7 days after a second dose of mRNA-based Britney Spears. So, yeah, won't be hearing from Bruce Willis anymore. Oh no, I missed Auntie Koviet's meme. Sorry, Auntie Koviet, she made a particularly spiteful meme of Bruce Willis in 12 Monkeys and me just going, ha, I should have watched Rise Above. But I forgot to put it in. I'll share that on the Telegram. I was expecting more like, in 12 Monkeys where he's strapped into the chair and they're about to put him back to the future and he's got the doctors around and they're asking him questions. I wanted one where strapped in the chair and he's doing sign language like, I need to go back to the past to not take the Britney Spears. We couldn't get that one into a meme. I know, it's naughty, isn't
Sheep
it?
farmer in the house.
Sheep farm in the house. Yeah, big shout out to Sheep Farm. We had an epic chat. Was that last week or the week before last? It was last week, I think. Triad of Truth. I will put that up on the Rise Above station this week. Big shout out to Dom and Chris.
Did we say anything that might get you taken down? Because we were
That's
a bit
good
more.
Point. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to go through and edit it because I use non-code words for pentojizzle in there. So yeah, I'll have to go through and edit it. Yeah, definitely. We don't want to risk any strikes. Okay.
Naughty step.
How are we getting on? 21 minutes 45. On the hour, we'll have a music video from JD, I think. And then when we come back after that, we'll have a little chat about what you've been up to, mate.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, okay. However...
How's Godvag?
Oh, Godvag. I've only watched the first 10 minutes of Godvag, yeah, because we don't have any Oma Beats tonight. He's stuck in Devon. We're going to be having Godvag in the half-time interval. It's 20 minutes long. And it's very fitting for what's going on right now in World War 33. She's brought a lot of good stuff together about European history. It won't be, well, from what I've seen the first 10 minutes, it won't be news to a lot of people, but there was a few things in there which I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that. So yeah, we'll be enjoying Godvag in the interval. Speaking of World War 33, a good satanic ritual sacrifice is really it's under par until you bring in like the number one witch, right? Yeah. So who should we invite into the old Ukrainian story? None other. Come on. Marina Abramovic hosts Ukraine benefit auction. Oh, I thought it was a concert. It's an auction. What are they going to be auctioning off? Like body parts and stuff?
Probably. 3
winners will be photographed in the artist's current exhibition, Performative, at the Sean Kelly Gallery. 3 winners? What? Oh, right, okay. You win an auction to be photographed. Oh, right, okay. You win a prize, but someone steals your soul, feeds it to a snake. Is that Willem Dafoe? That is Willem Dafoe, isn't it? The famous Hollywood actor. Why? Well, it was only a matter of time before they wheeled someone like this out, really, just to add an extra bit of Luciferian magic into the mix. Nothing surprises me. What's your take on this character in the Guardians?
Marina.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's definitely a witch. I don't know too much about her, but yeah, it was only a matter of time before they wheeled her out.
Yeah, I think
she's still alive. I can't figure out who's still alive and who's dead.
I've seen some pretty good evidence that could suggest that she's actually Robert Maxwell's son.
Yeah.
Robert Maxwell had a son that was the same age as what she would be now, who sort of disappeared and looks just like her as well. Makes sense.
Can you get a picture of him? Someone's
Maybe
got
a clone.
that, haven't they? Someone meme that.
Yeah, everyone's listening. Mate, we said last week, you'll be careful what you say sometimes before you know it. Like it appears in a meme that's like immortalised. Yeah. Speaking of memes, we'll come on to the more virtue signalling part of the show now, when we talk about this aspect of World War 33. I cannot believe this thing at the top here. I support the current thing. This is original Sagehead production. This one here at the top. This is the one that's been shared by Elon Musk, JP Sears, and Paul Joseph Watson now. That was the cover of his video. So, the best one here. I stand for whatever I'm told to stand for. Just everything. CNN, Fox News. Yeah, it's hardcore. Right, so why doesn't this guy get banned from social media for supporting Azov Battalion? He's got the fucking Black Sun Empire logo on his chest and Nazi symbology. He gets his own feature in Sports Bible Australia. Ukrainian kickboxer world champ dies defending city of Mariupol from Russian invasion. Last time I checked, the city of Mariupol was getting attacked by the Azov Battalion, not defended by it. They were going around murdering people. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I got Zuckerberg this week, literally for supporting Azov Battalion, just with a meme.
Well, you know, the whole concept of inner work is to eradicate contradictions. Yeah, I've been looking into it a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I've often spoken about that both can't be true. Well, in actual fact, I think this is the realm that we're in. It's designed to be a contradiction. So as an example, think about this, right? There's all this hoo-ha about protecting children and like it's snowing, so don't let the kids go to school because they might slip over and hurt themselves and all this stuff. And then at the same time, they're literally trying to depopulate the children and everybody. So it's the same people that are doing, you know, the contradiction. The very same people, the World Health Organization. Mm-hmm. The people that design the Britney Spears are meant to be saving life, but they're the very same people that are quite happy to be involved with the bio weapon facilities and stuff like that. It's a massive contradiction. Think about it. And think, just even war, you know, the nature of war. So we have a war to save life.
A fight for peace.
Freedom fighters.
Yeah, it's a massive contradiction, and that's the nature of this realm. And
I'll fight to the death to defend peace, comrade. It's crazy if you think about it, but it's like fucking for virginity.
Well, that's
a King David quote. I can't take credit for that. That's King David.
Think of all the rules and regulations that are out there in society that are designed to protect us, but at the same time, they want to kill us. Both can't be true, or maybe they can.
Well, I think they have to offer us the potential of stability to get us to give up our freedoms in the first place.
Well, it's the classic psychopath, isn't it?
Narcissism.
You comfort with one hand, what you stab in the back with the other.
Yeah.
It's like Lenin with the chicken. The very famous story in front of a load of his his comrades, they said to him, "How is it you control the people so effortlessly, Commander Stalin?" He's like, "Watch this chicken," and he like picked up a chicken, plucked it live till the chicken was almost dying from shock, bleeding shit, like almost dead. Puts the chicken down and then just puts the corn on the floor, and the chicken comes and feeds out of his hand. He said, "Look, it's that easy."
Well, think about this, right?
Yeah.
Even if you look at just like the protests and things like that, or the rallies, yeah. So they're prepared to beat the shit out of you, kidnap you, put you in a cell for your own safety.
Mate, that's exactly what happened to me. Apparently, I got arrested because I travelled to another county. I had caused a public nuisance and broke the coronavirus rules by not wearing a mask and standing within 2 meters of other people. So what was the remedy for that? 3 policemen kidnapped me. They weren't wearing masks, by the way. They threw me into the back of a van, took me to a police station where 4 or 5 other policemen came in close contact with me. Then I was interviewed by other policemen that were less than 2 meters away, not wearing masks, while they were questioning me for breaking the coronavirus rules.
Gestapo.
It was ludicrous, and I laughed at them in their face while they were doing it. And I've got the video of it, and it's Mr. Murdoch laughed in our face in an intimidating way because I just didn't say anything. I just like, why aren't you wearing? They actually asked why I wasn't wearing a mask in the interview, while they weren't wearing one either. And they said, why aren't you sat 2 meters away? And the 2 interviewing lady policemen, their knees were touching each other. That's how close they were, sat in these little plastic seats. I just looked at them. I was like, you're not even 2 centimeters apart. And I didn't say it because I was silent, but I just laughed in her face. And
it's like the contradiction with the masks, right? So by definition, what they're saying is that those masks contain viral loads, which could be sort of some kind of biological agent, weapon, whatever description you want to give it. By their own science and their own definition, it's harmful, and yet there's not one biohazard bin. So it's a contradiction, because if it was what they say it is, then they would balance it out by having a way of disposing of them. And now it's causing so many problems to nature by having all these dirty nappies everywhere.
Mm-hmm. There's already pictures of like sea turtles with like masks coming out of their nose and shit like that.
Yeah, and then you can be surrounded by law enforcement wearing masks. They keep touching the mask, and then they lay hands on you. Technically, that should be an assault with an offensive weapon, with a bioweapon, because they didn't sanitize their hands, they didn't clean their hands, they didn't change anything, they didn't put gloves on. They literally touch their masks and then they lay hands on you. So by their own science, they should be prosecuted for
biocrimes left, right, and centre, all over the shop, just slapping it around.
Yep.
Anyway, back to Ukraine. I had some of our Rise Above researchers. We wanted to find out if it's really true that there is a Nazi far-right problem in Ukraine, and we thought, what better way? Seeing as the propaganda says that the Russian soldiers are going on Grindr and giving out military secrets, we thought we'd check some Russian dating sites, okay? This is what my researchers found out. Some Ukrainian dating sites. So it wasn't successful. This is Ukraine date. Who did this? This is Deep Bait Memes. Deep Bait Memes is like a dirty memetician. He's like if Sagehead and Auntie Koviet had an illegitimate love child come out, it'd be Deep Bait Memes. Really naughty. So I'm not quite sure what Ainsley Harriott has got to do with World War Z or the denazification of Ukraine, but it's a great meme either way. As soon as you put the Russian Cossack hat with the G cross on the NPC, yeah, no, that's Ainsley got his hat from exactly the same place I got yours. By the way, thanks to everyone that's buying t-shirts. Your t-shirt profits helped the Rise Above Fund to purchase this beautiful hat here for JD. That's courtesy of all you guys. This is just to let you know where your t-shirt money's going, guys. Wear that with pride, bro.
Yeah, man. I was looking for one. I thought, with everyone kicking off with their yellow and blue everywhere, I just thought I really would love to walk down the street with a big Russian hat on.
Speaking of yellow and blue, even though I'm wearing an original Soviet uniform from the Cold War, look at my hat. That wasn't intentional. Like, you walked in, the first thing he said, I sent him a photo earlier on. The first thing he said, he walked in, he's like, "Nice blue and yellow hat, bro." That's like, oh shit! I've got Azov Battalion colours on my hat. I was playing both sides.
Mrs. in the Gardens has been walking around with a Russian flag on her arm.
Has she?
So, yeah. Well, she's Russian, so.
Of course. Has she
To be honest,
nobody's
really noticed.
Feedback.
No, nobody's noticed. You know why? Because everyone's hypnotised.
They can only see red and blue flags, yellow and blue flags. They only recognise these colours.
They probably don't know what flag.
Yeah, you could say they're probably ignorant. Oh, it's probably a French flag.
Yeah, but you know what, right? 2 weeks ago, the majority of these people didn't even know what a Ukrainian flag looked like.
No. Oh, I saw someone writing a post on Facebook the other day. This long post, like how beautiful the Ukrainian flag was. They're like, the colours are like so like just bold and true. And then I scrolled down, I saw Terror Slim's post. He's like, "I never want to see another fucking Ukrainian flag again. I don't care about Ukrainian people, but I hate that flag. I just hate it. Just because everyone that's posting it, I don't ever want to see it again." It's like, give me jokes. So yeah, deep bait memes really killing it with Will Smith, Hunter Biden 007 with like a Will Smith like spectre coming out of the screen and hitting an NPC in the face. By the way, I've got an epic Will Smith section coming out later on after we've had a chat with Warlord JD right here. More here from deep bait memes. Dr. Fauci sheep shearing Will Smith in front of like these NPCs looking on. Oh, this is a meta biota. Heavy work. Again, if you're new to the show, these memes might be going straight over your head. You might think we're really deranged and weird. That could also be partially true. But nevertheless, my guys are working around the clock to knock this out. Let me just get rid of this graphic here so you can see Sausage Fingers in the corner with his obelisk erection. Look at this.
Fuck's sake.
And Emperor Rothschild is holding a book called The Great Awakening, New Age Religion book.
And there's Alistair Crowley in the middle.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that. Alistair Crowley on the NPC, like on the NPC's little crutch there. Yeah, that's deep. Brilliant work. Like so many memes in the last couple of weeks. I was like, the backlog was just like blocking up my phone, it's blocking up all my social medias. And then we got this from Future Ghost. This is spectacular. This is what Oma Beats was talking about last week. If anybody remembers, in the live chat, Oma Beats was basically saying we need a meme that conveys how the metaverse is actually a psyop. It's tricking people into reversing themselves into 2D because you're going to be like looking at everything through a screen. And he had this whole little speech he did, and he's like, if someone can meme that would be sick. And I actually said, mate, that's going to take some serious skill to get that in a meme. But Future Ghost, he came out of the shadows once again, and he emailed this to me this week. And this is the 2D.
It's a very interesting conceptual framework there.
Yeah, no, really, it's really good. Let me just make it big so everyone can properly appreciate that. Enter the 3D Matrix. You've got Schwab and fucking Musk at the front with a little red rope. Load of NPCs. Oh, those are the NPCs out of the Will Smith film, aren't they? The iRobot.
Yeah.
Yeah, deep. Immortal paedophiles. Gary Glitter, Master Ginny, and Cliff Richard. He's not even dead yet, but he's still an immortal paedophile. And Crypto Shekels. Oh, I can look at that all night. Yeah, that's really good stuff. Oh no, I'll save the Will Smith sections. Okay, so we've got to the first hour. This is Rise Above on a Friday night. Jingle.
Rise above, generate, rise above, distinguish fear, rise above, abstract.
Big shout out to my guest and co-host tonight, JD Gorilla Warlord. Shout out to Inner Guardians, or IG Lee 33 as he's going by. That's his new moniker, Master Lee 33. So yeah, it's Friday night. We are going to have a very short break now. We're going to have a music video from our guest JD. Let me see what we've got here. I could only find 2 of your videos. We've got another 4 tunes to play, so I'll probably play a tune afterwards as well. So, Stop the World. This is one of my personal favourites. Wicked video. You can find this one on Global Faction, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, big shout to the guys from Global Faction. When we come back, we are going to be in chat with JD, finding out about what he's been up to. Guerrilla Off-Grid. Stories of an anti-Coviet whistleblower. It's going to be big. Be back soon. Rise above.
God, stop the world right now. I need to get off. Got the urge to cock the hammer, blow this motherfucker's head off. The place to pop, cause the kettle black, steam to let off. Jumping from the pan to the flame, so all bets off. Give me strength for my crossbow draw. Wait, let me not conform to these lost soul laws. Made bog roll horse in these Costco wars. Take the food from your bellies, call this lock low gourmet. Blunt force trauma, smoke the pain in an L play. Los guerreros de Ben siempre rebelde. Protection from the well-paid's infection. In Hell's Gate, we're speaking truth means getting sectioned with your cellmates. Bill Gates can sell weight through Murdoch and world stock conspiracy. Well, no shit, Sherlock. We can't even take a vacation to where the birds flock. Someone let me off right now and make the world stop.
Someone stop the world right now. Someone stop the world right now.
I wanna get off.
Someone stop the world right now. Someone stop the world right now.
Before I let off.
Someone stop the world right now. Someone stop the world right now.
Spaceship sped off.
Someone stop the world right now. Someone stop the world right now.
I see the Trojan deceit of the global elite. So it's death before dishonor, that's the code of the streets. Every pedophile in power sold their soul to the beast. So I'ma make you meet your maker, put the chrome to your teeth. Rather see them laying graves than watch my people stay as slaves. Sick of playing games with people that were raised insane. Baby George Bush playing Jenga with some paper planes. I hope you all get JFK'd.
Feeling like we're trapped in this padded cell. Snitching on your neighbor just cause they ain't going mad as well. Television, mental prison, man, it's sad as hell. Humanity don't follow the world trade, it crashed and fell. Capitalism knew we couldn't land before we took off. Built to fail like crash dummies, ain't no love lost. If Massa ain't cracking the whip, he's getting struck off. Man, someone stop the world so I can hop the fuck off. Someone stop the world right now. Someone stop the world right now.
I wanna get off.
Someone stop the world right now. Someone stop the world right now.
Before I let off.
Someone stop the world right now. Someone stop the world right now.
Spaceship sped off.
Someone stop the world right now. Someone stop the world right now.
With me you only get one strike, you're like a lit match. My enemies, they don't want to fight because we hit back. If you try to put my heart in a cage, I'll make your ribs snap. This parliament is full of gonorrhea, bunch of sick twats. So sit back, kick back, or get up and fight. Must be full of GMO because I'm fed up with lies. The fucking water from the tap will flow with death in disguise. A weapon designed to kill the psyche, mess with the mind. And here's the reason even white motherfuckers are pro-black. The same government have put a price on your toe tag. And just because they're more oppressed than you and you know that, it doesn't mean you're free though, chap, so don't hold back.
While I'm breathing, I will never say that love is lost. Build above the masons, cutting corners, trying to cut the cost.
This 12 gauge will spread them like the butter soft. Someone stop the world so we can throw these motherfuckers off.
Someone stop the world right now. Someone stop the world right now.
I wanna get off.
Someone stop the world right now. Someone stop the world right now.
Before I let off.
Someone stop the world right now. Someone stop the world right now.
Spaceship sped off.
Someone stop the world right now. Someone stop the world right now.
Yes, we're back. Welcome back. It's Friday night. It's Rise Above.
rise above, generate, rise above, extinguish fear, rise above.
I apologise, everyone. I just couldn't carry on wearing that hat anymore. It's like my head's got too fat. Needs to lose a little bit of weight, then it'll be more comfortable. But it was actually like strangling my head. Are you back in the Guardians?
Salutations.
Salutations. So, our guest this evening, not the first time you've been on the show, but definitely the first time you've been here in the flesh, mate. It's JD, Guerrilla Republic UK. Truth be told.
Yeah, man.
Good to be here in the flesh, bro.
Yeah, for real. Good to meet you.
Yeah, it's like I said to everyone that's coming down this year, like we're trying to do more physically. It's a different vibe.
It's real, isn't it? It's
real. Absolutely. So what have you been up to since the last time we spoke to you? It must be almost 8-9 months ago now.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm moving towards going as far off grid as humanly possible.
Okay.
I'm not there yet, but I'm on the way.
Yeah.
Because I'm fucking done, mate. I will not contribute to this system anymore. I'm just done contributing, because everything that we do is being used against us. All the money that I've put into it. I know people that have worked all of their lives and they're getting to a point in their life when they should be rolling in dough, happy, comfortable and retired. And
living nice life.
Yeah, and that is not the case because of the way that this whole situation has been manipulated, and I don't want to contribute to that anymore. Right.
What was your saying? What was your post? You were like, don't talk about defunding this, that. Defund the whole system. Just defund everything.
It's got to. And I know at the same time, they're going to want to do that to bring in their new bullshit. But that needs to be totally ignored as well, because whilst we contribute to something, whilst you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. Every time. As soon as you turn around and say, no, I am a sovereign man and there ain't shit you can do about it, what you going to do? Because lawfully, and when you know the law, because Black's law matters, you know that you can stand in the truth, and they might ignore you in their courts, but it just proves how faulty their laws are. And we in this country have to be governed by consent. As soon as we all stop consenting to this system, it's over for them. And everyone's not going to do it at the moment. They're not ready for that, but I can't contribute anymore. So
you made a personal decision to draw the line in the sand.
I bought myself a caravan. I'm not bothered about image or any of that shit. I want to get completely away from society because I just want to get back to nature, bruv. I've started growing my own plants and trying to grow my own food, and I just want nothing to do with them. Every level they're trying to get you. In the supermarket with the food, with what's in the food, in the shower with what's coming through the tap. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I'm stepping out of that.
Talk to us about what you've been doing with the food, because I've been following you on Facebook. I follow you and a number of other of our friends here at Rise Above very closely, right? And you've been growing on quite a big scale, right? I'm just going to get some photos up here.
I'm in the early stages. Like, I'm by no means an expert, but my friend Steve sorted me out with somewhere to start doing what I'm doing. But we've also got people like Terra Slim and Drax MC that are two other people that are heavily involved in organic growing. And it's about taking back control of what you put in your body, because you are what you eat, at least in this realm. So if you want to take care of the physical vessel that you are within this plane using, like you would tune up your car, then the best way is to have full control over what goes into your body. Because anytime you give them anything, they will present you with an issue. Anytime you invite them in, they're like fucking vampires. To get in, they have to be invited.
Yeah.
So anytime you give them anything, they will take that opportunity to put something in your body that is going to cause you harm later. So for me, I'm just trying to stay well away from them, whether it's the TV, the radio, whether it's a certain type of food.
Yep.
Whether it, you know what I mean? I don't want to buy from certain corporations anymore. I do sometimes when I have to.
Yeah, we talked a lot about impressions on the show, right? And impressions that you intake, this is in the Guardian's concept. It's not just to do with food, it's to do with, like you say, coming from the media, from outside society. So what you're telling me is you're actually taking back control of your impressions. Whether it's something that you're eating, whether it's something that you're ingesting through your eyes or your ears.
This is the thing, bro, right? My whole life, I consciously knew that this was all bullshit. The whole of society was a con. It didn't feel right to me from a very early age, like a child. I didn't understand the feelings I was getting at that time, but that's what it was. And all the way through, I've conformed, thinking I've had my little spouts and I've conformed in the end. I've spouted off at school and I've conformed. I've spouted off at work and then I've conformed. But I've got to a point where I changed everything about my working environment to try and be happy whilst I conformed. Do you know what I'm saying? So I got to a point where I've built this career where I'm helping young people and I'm doing workshops on mental well-being and challenging racial stereotypes and all sorts of great topics that need to be out there in society to make society better, right?
Yeah.
We're helping potentially 150 children every week. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the people who pay my wages think that it is more important for me and my team to be focused on setting up Britney Spears concerts in places of education. Now, to me, that goes against everything. Like, my existence is to have fun and to help people and implement as much hip-hop culture as I can whilst doing so. And to have that taken away, ruined, because they've mashed up the mental health of all them youths now, as well. But not only that, now they want me to participate in the potential death
want you to set up the infrastructure that's gonna
it's like and I am not a Nazi soldier that is going to go and stand at the doors of Auschwitz.
You're not going to blatantly
blindly I will tell Hitler to kiss my ass, and that's the bottom line, and that's kind of what has happened. So it's interesting. Before this, I could buy anything I want, whenever I want. I'm on good money. Everything's blessed. Like,
so just for anyone that doesn't follow you, you were actually employed by the council?
Yeah, I still am, so I'm trying to keep certain words out of this conversation.
Okay, right, okay.
But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the truth is the truth, and the truth can only be agreed with or lied about.
But you were employed as a youth worker?
Pretty much. That's not my job title, but that is part of my career. Like, that's what brought me to where I was at.
Okay.
But I'm at a health perspective, right, whether it's physical or mental. So I'm a qualified nutritionist. I'm a qualified youth worker. I'm a qualified mindfulness CBT practitioner, so on and so forth. And then I've got my music technology stuff. So, like, I bring it all together into workshops and make hip-hop workshops.
It sounds like you had a lot to offer to young people.
Bruv, I was loving life. Helping them and getting paid for a skill, when put together, isn't that prevalent. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You get some people teach lyric writing and hip-hop, beat making. You get some people that do mental health workshops. But when it was all crammed together and I was doing it, it was making a difference. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and also, I'm in my element, so, like, creatively, all of my stuff was going into them, and it was more powerful coming from their voices than mine. Do you know what I'm saying? And they took that and they've inverted it like they do with everything, and tried to put me on the front line to giving people tickets to Britney concerts.
You know, and my first thought is like, thank the creator that there are people with enough balls like you to stand up and say no. And you know what my second thought is? Think of all the other well-intentioned youth workers, health people that didn't have that fortitude, that may have been under the spell themselves. Maybe they were doing it just to keep their job, and they didn't, and they have actually now been co-opted, collaborated into partaking.
And these are a lot of my friends that you're talking about. Do you know what I'm saying? Or used to be my friends, conscious to a degree. You would have.
Wow,
it's strange, very strange. I would have considered them conscious people, okay, and now I don't know about that.
Well, you know, I've said from day one since we started doing this show live, if anything, this whole scenario, this whole happening has made it very easy to sort out who's who. It's really sorted the wheat from the chaff. You can now tell who is a sovereign person, who has a soul, who is ready to go along with collective Satanism, basically. Yeah.
It's the greatest apocalypse ever.
Yeah, there's no
revelation.
Yeah, there is no other way to put it, really.
So basically, the bottom line of that story was, I have now not got the financial stability I had before, where I could buy all these things that I want just because I want them. But it's making me live more resourcefully and less gluttonously with life. Do you know what I mean? So when I'm trying to move away from the grid, like, I don't need to be addicted to buying new trainers every 5 minutes and having this and having that, and I'm just trying to move away from that now, because that stuff doesn't matter. Now I've still got branded clothes and things like that, and Jordan trainers I won't buy anymore now. I'm going to look after them if I get my toothbrush on them, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Because I don't want to be making loads of money slaving to be a slave.
Yeah.
I'm not a slave.
Because you end up being
I'm a very bad slave. Shout out to Terra Slim.
Yes, shout out to Terra Slim. He's killing it with the merchandise at the moment. I've seen the lighters. I've seen the fridge magnets. So, by the way, Terra, when your T-shirts turn up, they should either be today or tomorrow. See that jiffy bag I sent them in?
See if they beat me there.
Put a couple of lighters in there for the Rise Above crew. We need some bad slave lighters. Maybe a little. What else you got? Some coasters, little magnet. Yeah, sort me out, bruv. Come on. Do
you think it's fair to say? Do you think it's fair to say that one of the kind of interesting dynamics of the last 2 years, which has kind of backfired on the powers that shouldn't be, is that people have become almost less interested in the physical?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, the first lockdown, I was still working, and we weren't allowed out. But I thought, you know what, fuck you lot, it's sunny outside, and we live in England and it's never sunny outside. Yeah. So I took my laptop with my SIM card and I sat in the middle of the woods. And I sat in the middle of the woods every day on my own for like 3 months. No one would see me. I was in a brand new city. I didn't know anyone. No one from my original city would see me. And I stayed in the woods and accidentally remembered who the fuck I was.
Really? Wait a minute. So... that your tune, Who Am I?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to play that. Right, so, okay, I'm going to play that video in the next mini break.
That was where I was
and that was where it was shot as well.
Yeah.
Right, mate, I felt it. I felt the emotion, like, in your performance, even just in the video. When when it's obviously when you're mouthing a video, it's still it's a different thing to a live performance. You know that as a performer, right? But I could see that coming through. That you were really in a place there.
Yeah, man.
In a transformative experience.
Like, I knew that this was coming. I'd read books that this was coming. I didn't realise it would come so quickly. But when it arrived, I was like, all right, okay, Bill Cooper, right again. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then I was ready. And when I saw everybody falling in line, after all of them years that I'd been banging on and they'd been kicking my ass and calling me this and calling me that.
We've got a lot in common, bro.
I was like, right, motherfuckers, I'm off to the woods.
I played that video to the wife yesterday when I was talking about you. I was really excited to meet JD and everything. I was like, check this out. First of all, she said, that's brilliant. And she goes, you know, it's so funny. She said, since you've built this thing, it's like you've created a magnet, and now you're drawing these people in, and you basically finding more people like yourself. He's like a northern version of you. She's like, she's like the lyrics, the message. I was like, yeah. Like, it's a magnetic center. We're connecting consciousness right here.
Yeah, for real.
It's it's very powerful.
I call it the quickening, a bit like what I think Ike used to call it that. Not that I follow him. But it's sacred geometry, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we're heading to a specific point, and as you get closer to a point, all of the supporting structure around that point starts clicking together.
Yeah.
And
forming like Voltron,
yeah, it's
mate.
like life lessons that would have taken me 5.5 years, 4.5 years ago, are now taking me 5.5 weeks. And do you know what I mean? So it's like a constant level up. Life is a level up if that's which way you're trying to go anyway.
It seems to be the speed
up.
Yeah, exponentially, where it's getting faster and it's accelerating, and the speed at which it's accelerating
like
is
them
faster.
2p things outside McDonald's when you was a kid, where you'd chuck 2p and it go round and round and round, and then it gets quicker.
Yeah. Do you know what the thing we're talking about there in The Guardian? It's a little thing where you put 2p's in for a charity, the Vortex. As a kid, I would get, like, because they often be outside an arcade, I'd go to the pound changer. Instead of going to the 2p pusher with my pot of 2p's, I'd go to that machine. Because for me, to watch that vortex and to watch that speed, it was so much better than... Yeah.
The magnetic centers are often called vortexes as well, or described as that. And it acts like that as well, which is quite an interesting phenomenon.
Got a jumper coming out called the White Rabbit Vortex. This drawing I've done. It's
and also
rabbit.
Also, when we're talking of the magnetic center, this is where the sort of real magic is. It's not a coincidence that magic and magnet is similar sounding. So once you start to develop a magnetic center in any way, you start to see magic happen, like real magic. Coincidences.
I don't believe in coincidences at all.
I know. Yeah. No, I meant it sarcastically.
I don't believe in coincidences. Yeah. So
synchronistic events.
Yeah. Messages, signs. Have you noticed more things like that happening to you as you've gone on this journey since you've had that time in the woods?
Yeah. I've always noticed them all the way through my life anyway, but more so.
Well, I'm 100% convinced, sorry, just quickly, 100% convinced that if we were left alone in nature, we would really see magic start to appear. And this is where I believe a lot of these myths and stories of old folklore, it comes from a time when people were closer to nature and things were literally like magic.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few sort of commentators and creators making videos about that, about how without the straight lines, the buildings, the bricks, the technology, the frequencies.
The other day, I won't bait myself up too much, but like when some of them pictures what you shared, I went out into the woods and spent a good 4.5 hours in there. I knew it was going to be a sunny day, and I went there and I went on a journey.
Okay.
And I was listening and meditating and listening to what I could hear, and there's so many different beautiful creatures in this particular place, woodpeckers and all sorts of different birds. You can hear all the different calls, and you can hear all of the different like leaves and things like that.
You can almost feel the texture of them with your eardrums.
It was literally, you were in that, you were part of it. But in the distance, there's a building site the other side of the hill.
Wow.
So you can hear the whirring, like World War 33 Terminator.
Yeah.
And you can hear it. Sometimes it gets louder, and then sometimes the birds drowned out the sound of the chainsaws and jackhammers.
Yeah.
And it was very it was all things that I already knew, but it was an eye-opening experience because we are in a real war, and it is a spiritual war. It's on many different levels, but in this physical realm, the war is between nature and completely the opposite.
Artificial.
Yeah, completely the opposite.
This really reminds me of a group hallucination which I took part in Thailand, and it was with these Australian guys who hadn't, and actually no, sorry, they're not Australian, they're English. They hadn't really done mushrooms before, and I took them to this reggae bar that I knew that was actually in the centre of this small beach town in Hadrin in Koh Phangan, where the full moon party is. And I knew the Thai Rasta guys there, and they had very powerful mushrooms, and I was like, there was 3 of us, me and 2 other lads, and I was like, right, 6 milkshakes, so it was 2 doses each. And this bar is like made of bamboo. It's over 2 levels. It's built of bamboo, right? And it's surrounded by this little town. Now, they were pumping out this really soulful, like, dub reggae, sort of like Rasta dubstep stuff, very good stuff to listen to on mushrooms. Now, I said, guys, right, take 1.5 of these doses, close your eyes, and we all put our heads together with our feet going out in different directions in like a triad, right? And I said, we're going to close our eyes and we're not going to talk, and we're going to see what happens, right? And the experience that I had was that I was getting the good positive vibrations coming from the speaker, but there were these drunk Australian guys at the pool table that were making these bad vibrations that were coming near to us, and I could see them, taste them, touch them. They were absolutely palpable. And then there were people whirring past outside on little scooters with these sort of like Babylon vibrations, but jar was coming from the speaker, so I knew where the source of good was, and then the bad vibrations around. So in my mind, as I was lying down, I started building a shelter of bricks, of metaphysical bricks. I stood there building the bricks to block out the bad vibrations from the pissed Australian guys at the pool table and the Thai people going past on motorbikes outside, and the tuk-tuk drivers, the people selling DVDs. But I needed to build a window for the jar vibrations to come from the speaker of the Rasta dubstep mix. And throughout my trip, I was lying down with my eyes closed. I was building this wall. Now, I said to the guys, after about an hour, if you want to come up for air, open your eyes and finish off the other half of milkshake. After an hour, we came up. I needed some more milkshake to finish off my wall because I didn't want the Babylon vibration getting in. When I came up, the guys looked around me and go, "Don't stop building the wall." They both looked around at me. This is no word of a lie. They said, "Don't stop building the wall because we can't let it in." Now, I hadn't told them about this. I'd been completely silent building the wall.
Put you on the telepathic realm then.
Yeah, this was
frequency.
I'd done like a pre-ceremony with them and everything, so I'd really got their intent like that. I had it, and I put it right into what we were doing, and they were both there being protected by the wall that I was building to keep out the bad vibrations. And it was like I could feel every cog in the motorbike's engine as it was going past, and it was getting in the way of the jar vibrations. Oh, it was mental. Yeah, 3 of us.
An intent that I would have set every time anyway is no fucking people whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been ideal. This was like this was a real rogue experience. It's like one of those testing ones.
That sounds awesome.
Obviously, you can do it with no external stimuli where you go properly in. But if you have some external stimuli, then sometimes you've got something to work against, right? So it can be very interesting. Yeah. The same way you can go out in nature.
You learn either way, don't you? So.
Yeah, it's all an experience. So yeah, if anyone wants to come to my retreat, that's a good little advert.
Yeah, man, I'm on it.
Yeah. Is that something you've explored a little bit? Is the astro psychonautics through meditation as well?
Yeah, meditation, and the astral realm is not a distant place for me. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, I mean, I've been meditating for a long time anyway, so you can get on certain levels, and if you've ever faced death as well,
always helps.
Yeah. Where you've been, where you've had enough time to weigh up who you are, and because the judgment, it comes from yourself. And when you've done that and you've decided which way your scales go, if you are kind of given another chance, you know you're gonna do a good job with it. But at the same time, your body knows how to release certain chemicals itself anyway to show you them things.
Yeah, which are the same chemicals which are produced in a real near-death experience.
Yes,
that's what many people forget about these certain chemicals that are very similar to what's in the mushroom as well. They're contained in our brain. They're contained
breathing
in every
techniques you can have control of that as well. Where they say we only use whatever % of our brain. What is it, 11? Or something like that.
It's like 5, 10, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Organic pharmacy.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we have the potential to do so much on every level. It's like, if you look at it on a physical level, you can have, if you look at, like parkour and free runners, like they're jumping off massive buildings and climbing walls that shouldn't be scaled, and you've got Master Lee in the ring, like smashing people to bits, and
superhuman
like
feats
strategically
of violence.
and just but in the spiritual realm as well, like you can perfect that, and it really is all one. It's just been broken down into frequencies that some of us can only access some of it, and when you raise your vibration, you can become more in control of more of your true self.
So, for instance, I've sat with someone outside that's been in a very extreme state of altered consciousness. Quite a learned person, and they were lying, looking up at the clouds, and it was a bright sunny day, but there was a bit of wind and there was a bit of cloud as well, and the clouds were moving around very quickly, like you could watch them moving. And the guy came around for like 45 minutes, and he said, like, the last 45 minutes I've been controlling those clouds up there, literally controlling with my mind. And to most people, like, yeah, nice one. Yeah, you might have imagined you're doing that because you're watching the clouds doing it. You've got a bit of a time perception lapero. Or,
bruv, I'm Reiki attuned. Like, I know that we have actual powers and that can come from our hands, healing powers. Do you know what I mean? And you can, if you are built for that, if it's meant to be within your story, you can control things outside of your 5 senses. Yeah, of course you can.
Manipulating water vapor is a lot easier than cutting down a tree.
Yeah, literally.
It's a pretty easy medium to manipulate, right? Water vapor, cloud.
It's just about confidence, belief, and actual knowing who you are, and going within and dealing with all of that shit that you ignore and are too egocentrical to address.
Yeah, but they don't really teach it in mainstream education.
No, they don't.
Like the inner work. And even in the last 2 years, there's been zero talk of like any type of inner work for health.
Well, I know that before all of this, the mental health services were shocking and overrun for young people, right? Overrun to the point where you had to be threatening to kill yourself and have actually tried it to get in there near enough.
And then they'll give you drugs where the side effect is suicidal thoughts. Yeah, straight. So first thing they give you, first side effect, suicidal thoughts, comrade.
But now, I can't tell you, but I can tell you that it will be at least 40, 50 times worse at a minimum.
Because it's got to be.
When I run these mental health workshops with the young people and I ask them about their worries, it's always Donald Trump or whatever the news story is on the news.
Putin.
Yeah, now it'll be Putin's going to bomb us. Like, we're scared. We're scared of whatever it is that was in EastEnders last night and this program and that program. We're scared of that.
I've seen for people on Facebook making posts that they're like their brother's genuinely scared about going to war. Like,
yeah, and that's just the TV aspect. Now they've got the physical, like, chains of masks and faceless, expressionless faces and bubbles and germ phobias and all of this shit that is going to create so many problems.
There's the next 20
and the services were already screwed. Yeah. And now the so-called NHS, which was privatised anyway on the sly. But now that's under so much pressure from Divik. Like, they're not going to give anybody anything at all.
They've been able to
and they
flip
need it more.
The whole concept of warrior. They've now flipped it into warrior. So they've turned people into warriors. They worry about things. They're in fear. Whereas the true warrior is the opposite. It's like the inner anarchist. That's the real warrior.
And fear is what is your downfall. If you fear death, then they have control over you.
Yeah. The DSM just got like 100 pages thicker after the last 2 years. Yeah, the DSM, the Diagnostic, it's the book where it's a book written by pharmaceutical companies with all the different terms of mental health issues. And every year they create new ones. That they basically write new ones, and they're not even doctors. There's hardly any doctors on the board. They're just pharmacists. And it started off with 4 conditions. Now the book's that thick. It started in the 60s. And I think of all the new terms. And
all of them could be addressed with exercise, meditation, a healthy diet, and all of that.
Yeah.
Like,
probably just fresh air.
Well, you know, the whole concept. I'm trying to think of the right word. The V word, yeah. Not specifically the Britney, but the V word, yeah. It's inoculation, yeah. Well, the real inoculation is the inoculation of fear. So you kind of have to expose yourself to the pathogen of fear, and be able to reduce your heart rate. And that is the true definition of a master. A master is somebody who no longer fears death for the right reasons. And that can come about in many different ways. Yeah, it can come about in many different ways, like near-death experiences, or you can replicate it in a small way, but build it up. And I think once you lose that fear of death, once you lose the fear of the physical, or the loss of the physical, that's when you can become a master.
And I think that was forced upon me at quite an early age. That particular, not saying I'm a master, but the fear of death was taken from me at an early age. So I've been on a journey since that, and I've had experiences where I've had guns put to my head, and my heart didn't even speed up.
Yep.
After. So to me, like I promised myself that I'll live fearlessly with and say what I believe needs to be said.
Truth be told, bro.
Truth be told.
Who was it? I saw you post those 2 bogus rappers.
Oh, I don't even know. You know, like some people from Nottingham. They're even
from your city.
Yeah, man. Like I'm not originally from there, so let's be honest. No one probably knows me from certain scenes. I've been blacklisted since I was 19 in the music industry. Like I've sat with labels, I've done all that shit. Blacklisted because of content and refusing to change it. So, but watching how I've been censored online, and you can't download off my Bandcamp anymore.
Yeah, we had
JDrap.bandcamp.com.
Homer Beats had problems with accessing your Bandcamp.
Yeah, you can't. You like it's people can't get hold of my stuff. They deleted my artist page. Like the way that I've seen that, I wouldn't really put it past that they don't even know who I am. But I also wouldn't put it past the music industry to try and destroy the hashtag that's got so much attached to it now.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I'm not accusing no one of nothing.
Could be a shadow banned hashtag.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, what we're talking about, 2 rappers from Nottingham have just released a single. What was it called? Truth Be Told.
Yeah.
And they're using the hashtag Truth Be Told. And apparently it's really rubbish.
But then they put a QR code on it, and I'm like, no.
The only QR code that's acceptable is the one that takes you to the Rise Above website. All others are totally forbidden. Total contraband. Okay. Where are we at? 1 hour, 40 minutes. I'll tell you what. Let's play the video for the tune Who Am I? Because we talked about your journey into the forest. How long did you say you spent there? 3 months?
Yeah, every day pretty much. I walked like 10 to 20,000 steps a day, and I meditated in the woods most days.
The track's called Who You Are, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, this is awesome. So this is Who You Are by JD. Same dude making this video.
Who are you behind material bravado? Who are you without the car? Who are you without the cargo? Who are you when no one's around and without your smartphone? Who are you as a child before you turned into an arsehole? Who are you when we take it down to brass tacks? Why's everyone afraid to be themselves? I gotta ask that. Faking like you're pissing in the wind without a splashback. Card in the machine but you ain't got enough for cash back. Why'd you think your value is perception of your net worth? Well that ain't gonna matter now, cause shit's about to get worse. Economy is crashing like a jet, burnt dead cert. Soon we're gonna see if you can really put in legwork. Gonna see if you can muscle up without the roids. Gonna find out what you really say without the noise. Are you gonna fight for your fam or be a cowboy? Are you the roar of a lion without the power jaws? You really gotta find out who you are, who you are then. You really gotta find out what you're calling. Can't fake who you are when times get hard. Take heed the warning. We're gonna find out who you are then. When I look in the mirror, I'm thinking, who am I? Am I ready for whatever, if it's do or die? Can I decipher the line between the truth and lies? Can I give the world the real me when spitting through this mic? Can I lead my people through the new world order lockdown? Can I show restraint when people begging to be knocked out? When they force the vaccine, am I ready just to opt out? Am I ready to put fist in the air or to be shot down? Trapped in isolation, trying to grow my wealth, feeling scrutinized every time I go buy milk. Psychological or even biological warfare. Can't change the world we're in unless I know myself. Being trapped inside this bunker beats becoming a statistic. I'm an introvert, I think I heard I've always been the misfit. This is my shot, projectile, ballistics, to show the world that everything that's happening I predicted. Can I see the future or just mathematic patterns with precision and balance? Like I'm autistic through atoms and molecules. Electrons jump until they're scattered through the universal consciousness. Examine, I challenge each of you to let go of your ego. Tell me who you are. My astral travels through the stars. I've tuned the heart, and through this art I channel you my purpose in life. And through the bars hope to teach you will never be slaves, cause you are gods. You really gotta find out who you are, who you are then. You really gotta find out what you're calling. Can't fake who you are when times get hard. Take heed the warning. We're gonna find out who you are then.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. It's Friday night, it's Rise Above.
Rise above, generate, rise above, extinguish fear, rise above, abstract.
That wasn't the interval, I just really wanted to play that video. I think it's an awesome video, and since JD's been talking about sneaking out to the woods and pretending to be in his mobile office so he can be doing his press-ups in the forest. Yeah, lovely video, that. Really enjoyed that one. So,
Yeah, really
what's coming up for you? Tell us about the off-grid project. So you've got yourself a caravan, right?
Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to give locations away or nothing like that. So the end goal is to have some land with water and a way of generating enough electricity so I can go out there into that bullshit as little as possible and create a healthy environment, and people that are on the same level will gravitate towards and try and get to a place within myself that has leveled up spiritually, physically, mentally, ready for whatever it is they try and throw, and I can just bat it away. Because I'm not running from them. I don't actually want to be a part of that shit, and I never did. So
sure.
people aren't. There's not enough people in this world ready to do what might else be necessary. So, in the meantime, I'm just not contributing to.
Well, at least then you can say, you know, you haven't greased the cogs.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't been, just going along with anything. Nothing.
No, I just want to, for my own conscience, put myself on record and say I am not down with the Soviet Union and the way that they've gone about, and I want that known far and wide.
Let it be known,
because there's too much evidence that has just been blatantly ignored. I mean, the World Doctors Alliance has got 17,000 professionals that are all saying the same shit that we are saying.
Yep. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, anyone that isn't completely mentally compromised or a Satanist has nowhere to go in the argument over whether what we've been saying is valid or not, because the writing is on the wall. Mm-hmm. The statistics are there. I mean, obviously I can't show these stats on the screen or anything, but I saw this letter from the US attorney, the US Medical General of the Armed Services, covering Marines, Navy, the lot, with the stats of all of the conditions and the percentage that they were up since Britney Spears' famous world tour. And they range from 150 to 1,000, 1,500% of every different medical ailment you can think of. The average was up about 400%. So that's a 4-fold increase in your leukemias, in your cancers, your blood clots.
And even if it doesn't have anything to do with the actual Britney Spears, it's happened because of the Soviet Union,
because of all the other things they've done.
They're too busy dealing with fresh air than actual problems.
Whether it's the medical backlog, whether it's hospital staff off, whether it's the effect of the lockdowns, it's all a conglomerate.
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, they weren't. All of these structures in society, they weren't there to help us in the first place anyway. No. They're just there for you to lean on. They're a crutch that you become too weak to walk without if you use them too much. So hence again, pull away.
Well, I think what you've done is very commendable. It's brave. I think, frankly, mate, you're setting a fantastic example. There's no better way. We can go and speak at protests. We can make podcasts. We can make instructional videos. But there's no better thing than actually going out there and doing it and setting the example by actually doing it and showing that it's possible.
It can be done. And there are other people that I know that I've inspired that have even surpassed where I'm at in the stage. Do you know what I mean? The people are like, yeah, you know what? House on wheels. I can move. They can't constrict me to one area. I'm ready at any point. And they've done it. They've got rid of their rented accommodation. They might even rent a small plot of land somewhere for pennies.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they've said, do I need this big house? Sorry, I've not been talking into this mic. Do I need this big house, or do I not? Do I want it more than complying with this? Because at the moment I'm a care worker, and they're telling me I've got to go to a Britney Spears concert. I ain't never liked that singing.
Yeah, I've never been a fan, mate. Even before all this happened, even before she's world famous, never been a fan.
No. So people are making decisions.
Well, according to the agenda, they're going to lose it anyway.
Exactly. You will own nothing and be happy. Just like, I don't know whether you guys have touched on it, but fucking fuel. I'm going to have a moan.
Yeah.
£1.80. I've got a diesel.
2
litre. And it's £110 it cost me. And that's from
to fill up.
Yeah. I already had 2 bars at the bottom and I filled up.
Yeah, I've got a 2.2 litre diesel. It's a green one. So it's quite economical, but yeah, no, it's £100 to fill up.
Mental.
Yeah, the idea of getting a juicier car or a faster car in the future is just completely out the window now. Now I'm thinking about getting something with a smaller engine.
Well, the way that they're going to do it, I think, is that these prices aren't ever going to level out.
No.
They're going to keep going up until it is completely unaffordable, and they've the only option is you get electric cars. Oh, you can't afford an electric car? Here's PCP. Here's finance.
Yeah.
This is how, and then eventually we'll be doing that for our self-driving cars that are connected to the lampposts and the bollards, as Boris said in the World Economic Forum.
I wouldn't be surprised if the electric car grant isn't rolled into the social credit score or the universal credit. You'll probably be paying off the electric car with your energy output and your whatever they're farming off you.
5 stars on fucking Tinder.
Yeah. Your swipe rate. How many? You'll probably get. You'll have to watch like 10,000 hours of adverts on your smart device to start paying off your electric car, something like that.
Madness.
Yeah, absolutely. I reckon. We need to have the Godvag break. We really do. So let me get rid of this. We're gonna have a 20-minute break, and we're gonna play the brand new video from our favourite creator on YouTube, the one they call he's called Godvlamast, but we can't say that because he's Flemish, so we call him Godvag. It's much better. He's like a cosmic vag. He pumps out the most amazing content you can possibly imagine. Let me find this video. Right, so this is called Crater Earth, War of the Schwartz Sun. Yeah, big up Wim. Check out Godvag.
When I mention our names like Sismerkel, Sismerkel, Smurkel, Sismerkel, Sismerkel, Smirkel, even Vladimir Putin and so on. Vladimir Putin and so on. Putin, Vladimir Putin and so on, 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 and so on. Sismerkel, Smirkel, Sismerkel, Smirkel. Even Vladimir Putin.
Could it be that Vlad the Impaler is a secret agent of Her Majesty the Queen? And what would be the plan? Let's have some history lessons in World War II. You have the USA, you have the British Empire, the fascist regimes of Europe, and finally the communist parties in Asia. Let's take a look at the flags. You will probably put them like this, at the same level, but I think we should put them like this. Spider in the web. The British royal family. Let's take a look at the map of the Vikings. It all starts in the land of Odin, London, conquering Europe, then expanding to Northern America, and finally the Russian connection with Novgorod and Kiev. So these 4 main players are actually blood brothers. The Aryans. Let's take a look at the script of World War II. In the USA, create a military-industrial complex. In Germany, sponsor Adolf Hitler and bring him into power. Russia, sponsor the communist revolution and bring in power Stalin. But before this war starts, Britain pulls out its army. Herr Hitler lets escape the British forces. And in the Battle of Britain, some playboys, some dandies, some schoolboys defeat the well-trained army of Adolf Hitler. It's a miracle. And now from a distance, the British and the Americans can watch how the whole continent is destroying itself, wiping out each other's armies. The whole of Eurasia becomes an altar of a giant blood sacrifice. And after the war, the parasites are welcomed as liberators.
So the mighty advance of the Western Allies sweeps on, across the borders of France into Belgium, heading for Brussels and Germany.
Il y avait des caméras partout quand le général de Gaulle a parcouru à pied la célèbre avenue des Champs-Élysées.
The Belgian royals, back from hiding in Switzerland. Belgian politicians, back from London, organizing the resistance. Now we enter the Cold War. And now we play their favorite game, divide and conquer. Good cop, bad cop, the red and blue. Best example of this is Germany, divided in two parts. The blue part, the free world, and the red part, the communist regime. And the division in the division is Berlin. The red and blue in red and blue. A little Solomon star in a bigger Solomon star. Reminds me of Belgium, capital of Europe. Divided into the Flemish and the Walloons, put up against each other by some clever politicians. Brussels lying in the Flemish part, with constant language problems between Flemish and Walloons. So you have the little Solomon star in the bigger Solomon star. Ideal place to create the European Union monster. Some other examples: Korea, Ireland, Cyprus, and Jerusalem. Israel, Palestine. Red triangle versus blue triangle.
The 44-year-old law graduate turned comedian was born to Jewish parents in a Russian-speaking part of eastern Ukraine. Shortly after college, he co-founded a production company starring in a TV series playing a school teacher who accidentally becomes president.
How strange. Let's take a look at the wiki. Apparently, the father of Zelensky is the head of the Department of Cybernetics. Interesting. I want my son to be president.
So cybernetics comes from the Greek word to steer. And as we steer a ship, we want to make it to the goal, and we get blown off course by wind and ocean. So we see that's where we want it to go, we're here, that's wrong, so we correct, and then we go too far, and then we correct. So cybernetics is about steering and getting to the goal. All intelligent systems have this property. A system cannot be intelligent unless it has those properties, because otherwise it goes, and it succeeds or fails, and who knows. But this way, there's the self-correction all the time. So a technological system at least the kinds of interactive systems that we're talking about, have this property of being self-correcting. People self-correct. So cybernetics is about steering and getting to the goal. All intelligent systems have this property.
So all intelligent life can be steered. So if you cannot be steered, you are not intelligent. You get it?
So a technological system, at least the kinds of interactive systems that we're talking about, have this property of being self-correcting. People self-correct.
Well, I think there was no self. Self has been introduced by thought. Thought is pretending to be you. The self, the cube, is correcting you. So now I will self-correct you. If you are an intelligent person, you will take this guy and make him president. This is nothing new, of course, we have seen this before. Now let's say that an ordinary housewife would become president. Oh, by the way, ma'am, did you know that the moon is the reflection of the Earth? And the Earth is actually a gigantic ball. And in one of those craters we live. And the crater is called Sulpicius. At the surface well, I guess people would go in mental breakdown. So the chances that an ordinary housewife becomes president is 0. Not a corporal, nor a KGB officer. First you have to be educated with the right knowledge. So maybe if you have $95,000 to spare, and if you are from the right bloodline, of course, you can go to a nice little castle where everybody is happy. What would you be learning there? What knowledge is worth $95,000 a year? Here is the dining room. Reminds me of Harry Potter. Maybe alchemy wasn't that stupid at all. Surely there must be lessons in manipulations, Machiavellism, how to be a good liar. That must be their favorite lesson. Some spells, some witchcraft, some Kabbalah numerology, and finally, when they are graduated, they can be put in society. What are the chances that you can take a picture of 3 children that will become world famous actors? 0. Now you have all the pieces at your disposal. You can play one giant chess game. Now you can play the game of good guy, bad guy, climate crisis, financial crisis, health crisis, and so on and so on. And it's all about trauma-based mind control, fear. Today we have the European Federation and the Russian Federation. The communist flag has been replaced by this flag. The double-headed eagle with red and blue. The crown, Globus Cruciger, the rod and the dragon slayer. Symbol of the British royal family. You might say, of course, no, it are the Romanovs. Take a look at this picture. 3 cousins. Tsar Nicholas, Kaiser Wilhelm, King George. These people are not going to fight each other. You are. Then we have the second party, the European Union. Some people say it is the brainchild of Uncle Walt. This is absolutely ridiculous, of course. So now we are ready for the next war, but wait!
First, the rats are leaving the ship. Everything is going according to plan, Your Majesty. Baraka. Now Boris can finish the job. But first he has to undergo a cleansing ritual. In the universities they have these baptizing rituals. It's more about humiliation. Bad Boris. Reminds me of the drainer of the swamp. Bad Trump. Now that Boris has been ritually cleansed, he can become the voice of the free world.
We agreed that we would respond in unison to any Russian attack on Ukraine. Further steps to help Ukraine defend herself and by an increased NATO presence to protect our allies on NATO's eastern flank. And, Mr. Speaker, a war that I believe would earn and would deserve the condemnation of history, and I commend this statement to the House.
Nazis on one side, Nazis on the other side, while the Queen and her American army are watching. A line of blood sacrifice is drawn, just like World War I and like the Cold War. I think that they will draw a line through Ukraine and divide it into two, and Kiev will suffer the same fate as Berlin. Solomon Star in a Solomon Star. Let's listen to what Boris Johnson has to tell about himself.
He will never be able to cleanse the blood of Ukraine from his hands. Now we see him for what he is, a blood-stained aggressor who believes in imperial conquest. He's trying to redraw the map of Europe in blood and conquer an independent state by force of arms.
So true, Boris, so true. Now Boris Johnson starts sabotaging the European Union.
Today I welcome to London the members of the Joint Expeditionary Force, or the JEF, which is a group of like-minded countries that believe in a dynamic approach to military cooperation.
To understand this, let's go back to two of my videos. The Vikings were Jews and in search of the Benben stone. By moving the Benben stone, the Crusaders triggered an enormous flood. So they got stuck on an island. From there they started reconquering the world, the Scandinavian countries and the northern coastline of Europe. So these are exactly the countries that are joining Boris. The historical cover-up of this story starts with the Vikings. So it are not the Vikings who are converting to Christianity, it are the Vikings who are morphing Christianity into the Odin cult. The man on the cross is Odin hanging on the tree of life. Christ is not dying for your sins, you are dying for Odin's sins. And that is why you have this mix of runes and crosses. And this is exactly what we are seeing in this Ukrainian war. Runes and crosses. Let's take a look at the flag of the Azov battalion. If you would read Azov in Roman language, it would give you A30B. A is 1, B is 2, that would give you 33. Sign of the parasites, of course. The boys from Rise Above call it World War 33. Take away the room and that gives you the Schwarze Sonne and a flood. What if the Schwarze Sonne was our crater? And what is the symbol at the bottom? Is it the eagle or is it the ark? Or maybe both?
Sorry, I had to rewind that bit. I just realised what was going on.
Let's take a look at the flag of the Azov battalion. If you would read Azov in Roman language, it would give you A30B. A is 1, B is 2, that would give you 33. Sign of the parasites, of course. The boys from Rise Above call it World War 33. Take away the room and that gives you the Schwarze Sonne and a flood. What if the Schwarze Sonne was our crater? And what is the symbol at the bottom? Is it the eagle or is it the ark? Or maybe both? All these symbols are of course revealing the presence of this synthetic overlord. And what are the Russians showing us? A red V and a white Z. Well, the Russians supposedly are attacking the fascists, but they are becoming fascists themselves. Reminds me of this symbol, black and white, Russia. Same story with ISIS, the V with another HH, Heinrich Himmler, here together with Uncle Walt. What if all this black and white stuff has something to do with the Schwarze Sonne? Well, at this point I'm thinking, what if the Schwarze Sonne is the radiation field of the Benben stone? In the Bible, the road of the ark is filled with disasters. Let's take a look again at the map of Europe. Let's look for signs of this radiation field. Let's start with the location of the Benben stone, London of course, the flag of Jerusalem. Brussels, center of Europe. Then I would say CERN has probably something to do with it too. And finally Jerusalem with the Solomon star. So you can almost draw a straight line. But wait, let's go back to the silhouette of our crater. In the center you had the North Pole, because we are moving in an 8 form. Let's put in Eurasia. Because we are moving in an 8 form, the straight line will become... And what is in the center of this 8 form? Alleluia! Now I understand the Vatican keys and the crown of the Caesar, the Odin, the bloodline of Christ. How big would this radiation field be? Well, I made a video about putting a Solomon star on Jerusalem. All the capital cities of Europe seem to be on it. Let's set in motion the wheel of destruction. At what speed would this system go? No idea. Where would it be now? Let's take a look at the front line of Ukraine. My guess is it is above London. Create the problem. concrete dissolution.
I knew that beer had something to do with all this shit.
Accept the code of the Queen Elizabeth reign. Maybe it is the end of the Purple Rain. A new blood sacrifice for Odin. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Holy shit, I think I had a vaggasm in the middle of that when I realised that I hadn't actually watched. We watched the first 10 minutes earlier on, didn't we?
Yeah.
Which was just about like World War II and all that. But yeah, so yeah, mate, holy shit, big up Wim. Yeah, World War 33. They crawl on hands and dirty knees. So Azov Battalion breaks down to 33. In the Guardians, you weren't wrong. That was a really good Godvag, wasn't it? That was really good. Is he there? In the Guardians. He'll come back when he's ready. So, anyone in the live chat? Oh, here he is.
Darth Vader, isn't it?
It's Darth Vader. So, everyone in the live chat, you didn't. Is that the first time you've seen that?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, you didn't tell me earlier on when you posted it in the group that you mentioned us.
Yeah, my signal keeps dropping out.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, it's nice to know that that Wim tunes in, is still tuning in, and we're building.
No, I only watched the first 10 minutes.
Oh, you only watched the first 10 minutes. So you didn't watch the second half then? So basically, he said we called it World War 33. You showed a picture of me.
No. I watched it just now, but the first time I watched it.
Right. Okay. So you saw it this time. Did you know that Azov Battalion breaks down to 33? I wasn't aware of that. Oh, has he dropped out again? That's annoying.
Yeah, just now, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, is your signal being attacked?
Yeah,
IG?
my signal keeps dropping out. I'm going to jump out back in.
Okay, yeah. Reconnect. Okay, so I've got more slides. Let me get rid of that.
Now.
Oh, I don't want to watch Godvag again. Right, what's going on here? Where did we get to? So, Russ Kieran, he survived all covert propaganda. He's got the survivor sticker with the white supremacist Boris Johnson looking like some like Ukrainian gangster in prison with all of his prison tats. Excellent stuff. Oh, I think we've jumped ahead here. Okay. Hasta la vista, Divok, you'll be back. This is another brilliant meme from the Affected One. As you can see, Putin is taking care of the covert propaganda with his hand. Is that a Beretta or a PK? I'm not sure what gun it is. But he's got his Freemason's badge on there, as we can see, playing his part in World War 33. Who knows? That debate could go on for a long time. Now, I'm sure this was the part where I was actually going to talk about Will Smith. Oh shit! No, we had a lot of stuff to. Wait, no. Do you know what it was? We jumped ahead. There's more stuff to talk about. Wait a minute. Let me go back. Okay, so I might have got banned for showing my support for the Azov Battalion on Facebook this week, but you wouldn't get banned if you show something like this. This is the Britney Spears concert fundraiser for the Ukraine. Amazing work here from Affected One. He's new on the meme team. Smashing it out. Hurry up, Ed Sheridan. Britney's up next. Another Schwab. Another concert already, Lord Schwab. She's dressed up in like blue and yellow as well. That's sick. Yeah, Affected One. Your t-shirt's on the way, mate. You fully deserve it. Brilliant work here from Sagehead. We've got a classic like pro-Ukrainian covert citizen. Doctor, my first 3 jabs made me ill. It didn't stop me getting covert. What's your advice? Well, Dr. Hillary Jones, with his picture of Harold Chipman in the background here, as you can see, he's obviously going to recommend the 4th jab. That goes without saying.
Then it goes without saying. He's probably going to take the 4th.
Yeah. At the time of 10:33. Are you back with us in the Guardians? Can you hear us?
Yep, I'm back in.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah. I had an attack.
I was a blatant attack. We also had a chatbot attack from the sex chat, sex bots or whatever they are, that post about sexy girls in the chat room to try and get us taken down. Here it is: fun, hot girls and boys, 18+ video chat. As if you'd need to go to another video chat when you're already watching Rise Above. Like, come on. They're fighting a losing battle here. So yeah, admins, please keep an eye out for that, because we don't want to get any problems there. So,
desperate measures, literally.
Yeah, desperate times call for desperate measures. Welcome to Clown World, with the world's #1 Jewish comedian and actor Volodymyr Zelensky here. Welcome to Clown World. Auntie Koviet back with another stonking meme.
Apparently he's got a multi-million-pound mansion in America, hasn't he?
He's probably got 33. Imagine this has got to be like the highest paid acting role in all time. Like, forget like Hollywood.
Stand with you.
That's a good one, isn't it? This is effective one. This is what I'm saying. He's brand new on the meme team. Look at this quality that he's knocking out already. Where do you even find a crane that looks like that? Yeah, really good. You think about it, like if, well, I was about to say, if it's true that he's an actor, well, we know it's true. This has got to be the most highest profile acting role of all time. You're like playing the opponent of Vladimir Putin in the world's greatest show. How much is he getting paid for that? Starts with a 3.
It does make you wonder, like, all of these characters. It does make you wonder, all of these characters throughout history, that they were probably actors.
Yeah.
What was it you were saying the other day in the Guardians, that maybe people in history, some of the most famous ones that like have only got one name, they might not even be like one person. They could have been like a like an idea. You know, like people like Socrates, Plato,
Shakespeare.
Well, he did have a first name, William Shakespeare. I mean, he's one that literally had no first name.
Right.
Yeah, I'm being booted out.
You've been booted out. Jesus, he didn't actually have a second name. Christ, you could say, but
you're talking about the
Nazareth.
Of Nazareth.
No, that's what they used to say on road. It's like, it's me of this ends. Jesus of Nazareth.
Double L of Bournemouth. Right, yeah, I was talking about the one-namers in the Guardians. This was something you were mentioning. Like, the most famous people in history tend to have one name. Right, he's gone again. Right, back to the memes, comrades. We've got a lot to get through. I stand with Ukraine too, Commander Putin. So, this is alluding to what we're going to be talking about in a bit with Will Smith and the I won't ruin it. What happened at the Oscars? So, another story that ain't going away. This Meta Biota company that we talked about. I think it was it Sheep Farm that brought these guys to the forefront. It's the company that's running the Ukrainian biolabs. It's got like multi-billion-dollar contracts with the Pentagon, DARPA, you know, the usual suspects, right? Guess who else has got like $33 million contracts with Meta Biota? Yeah, it's Hunter Biden. How many people got called conspiracy theorists over Hunter Biden's laptop? A lot of people, right? Deleted accounts, shunned from friends and family for wearing a tinfoil hat, talking about Hunter Biden's laptop. Turns out Hunter Biden's laptop was filled with Soviet Union contracts for bioweapons with Meta Biota. It's like Metaverse Bioweapons Inc. Basically, that's what it is, isn't it? And this on the right here is from Deep Bait Memes. It's a 70s BBC ice cream van in conjunction with Meta Biota serving up Will Smith flavoured ice cream. I stand with Ukraine and the Freemasons. Oyster Delight by Facebook. Yeah, wicked. Beautiful. On the same subject here, we've got Chancellor Biden saying we must stop Putin at all costs from entering the Ukraine. Meanwhile, in a Ukrainian biolab, we've got Chris Whitty working for Meta Biota and Hunter Biden with some what's that? Is that like some shady subhuman contraptions in the little tank there? Not looking good for old Hunter Biden. Not looking good at all. Oh, apparently we should actually call him Bunter Hyden to escape Al Gore. because I've seen other people doing that. It's like one of those hot words, isn't it? We're just talking about that laptop when it came out. We wouldn't even talk about it on the show because it was like instant bannable material. How long is that? Like 18 months? A year now? Yeah. 6 months to a year. That's how long it takes from conspiracy theory to fact now. Big up everyone in the chat. I've actually been really neglecting you lot tonight. Who've we got? Eye for an Eye, Bath, North East, Lord Doobsworth, all the usual characters, Justin Miller, Karen Hall, David Jackson, David Dolby, ZYX. Big shout out to everyone tuned in on a Friday night, Rise Above. 2022 Hunter Biden Special Edition Super Slime Lab may contain traces of spike proteins, ingredients, anthrax, mRNA, AIDS, additives, G33 and G322. Safe and effective. Proven by Chris Whitty. Yeah, we're really going in on the Hunter Biden biolabs memes here. Deep bait memes. Oh yeah, you see, Will Smith is just creeping in. It's just creeping in, which is really good.
Bit.
Yeah. Everyone's totally sick of Will Smith. I should have done this show on Monday. When did it happen? Yeah, it was last Saturday. Should have done a Monday special. But anyway, we still got some sick memes here. Kazaria needs you. Cornerstone needs you. This is who's this? This is Deep Bait memes again. And we've got here Lord Schwab's energy harvesting machine in conjunction with Facebook, Metabiota, AstraZeneca, and I Stand With Ukraine. Once again, he's feeding Will Smith's head into the energy harvesting machine. Brilliant stuff. Some people must think these memes are proper weird. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but once you understand what's really going on,
there's a lot going on here,
how
though.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
And it is all cogs and fuel in one machine there, and it makes sense.
Well, it's like as soon as the Ukraine thing that happened, as soon as anyone that knew what they were talking about started to connect anything, the first thing they normally said, "Oh, I can't believe you're trying to connect this with COVID." Yeah, that's the first thing out of their mouths. Couldn't comprehend that there could be a bigger picture.
Couldn't comprehend that the fear propaganda that had been rammed down the necks for the last 2.5 years, every single day on every single channel, just disappeared.
Overnight, disappeared. What could possibly be creating that?
Oh, they're not scared enough anymore. Give them World War 33.
That'll do the trick. Before you know it, they've painted their mask blue and yellow. Some people have, they've packed up the bags. They're ready to go to war now.
That was the reason behind this hat. I'm seeing flags everywhere. Yeah, where was the Libyan flag when they were bombing the shit out of there? Where was the flags of every African country that they've pillaged over the years? Yeah, but because the news said that Ukraine needs our help, and apparently, isn't it central for child prostitution as well? Something to do with
sort of like the European. It's like the gateway to the east for child trafficking from Europe. Apparently,
so
no surprise. It's
I'm sorry, I'm not saying civilians ever deserve anything, but there's a lot going on in the world, and you can't believe anything on the news at all.
Yeah, I mean, when we're talking about this, it's very clear to say that, we're very sorry about what's happening to the people of Ukraine. And, when we talk about Azov Battalion and stuff, we want them taken out because of to help the people of Ukraine. We're not going to get sucked into just hating Putin because that's what we've been told to do. It's obvious that it's a little bit more complicated than that. Oh, the cam chats are back. We'll get rid of them.
You have to do the opposite to what the mainstream says.
Yeah. Or
unless it's reverse psychology, then you're screwed.
Yeah, that's why the third option's important. So, in the video we just watched from Godvag, he was showing the symbol of the black sun and talking about it as an evil energy field or a vortex that could be moved over Europe by the agents of the parasite. Black sun symbol has been seen hanging around the necks of Ukrainian paramilitary far-right forces and people marching in the street. And here we've got it on a meme, the black sun on the BBC mind conditioning box. haven't got Will Smith inside this person's brain. It's actually
Sloth from the Goonies.
Sloth from the Goonies, yeah. Sloth from the Goonies been appearing in quite a lot of Deep Bates memes. It's really good. But we've actually got, if you look carefully, Lord Schwab's energy harvesting contraption is actually inside the mind of this NPC here. His esophagus is clogged with COVID in 1984, and his brain is just like full of sloth.
Maybe this is sent from the future, and everybody who's been to so many Britney Spears concerts just end up looking and sounding like Sloth from the Goonies.
Well, maybe this is a medical diagram from the future of like a vivisection of someone that's been to all the Britney Spears concerts. That's actually what they look like inside.
Well, this is what I call the artificial belief technology.
Yeah. You were talking about that when someone, it was Paul. He reposted a clip of the show where we were talking about the flat Earth and globe theory and saying probably the universe is rendered, like a simulation. And then the Guardians talked about most people are rendering with artificial belief technology.
Yeah. And this is what we're witnessing on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. I think this meme is...
Elaborate on what that means.
Yeah, okay. Go on.
It's the inception of perception using technology, as in mainstream media, which is all technology-based now, isn't it?
Mm. So creating your entire understanding of existence.
Well, if we're rendering the existence, if you can hijack the rendering by installing artificial rendering technology, so you're rendering something that's false.
Yeah, but it's a bit more complex than that because they can't. It's unlawful for them to go directly into your projection, your natural organic projection capabilities. So what they have to do is they have to draw you out with these pendulums, like hypnosis. They create these stories, these events. So that draws your perception out. Then they can get back in, and then they start to take over by using belief systems to for you to project a different reality to what you would naturally. So basically, it's a way of hijacking.
The psychologists would call this like manufacturing consent, right?
Yeah.
If you had a bit more of a normie head on, you would call it manufacturing consent. Is that that's Bernaysian theory, right? Edward Bernays.
And what we're witnessing is that they're experimenting, they're playing around with it and perfecting it. So they could literally flick a switch and people would start to believe something completely abstract or random. They're completely at the mercy of whoever's controlling the buttons of technology. And that's what we witnessed.
Yeah. And also the way that people manifest reality into existence with what they think about most, and the affirmations that you tell yourself become your reality. And when you pumped fear and the same repetitive shit continuously, eventually it will manifest.
Yeah, there's another take on this. There's another take on this. So if you look at predictive programming, so what they tend to do is say, start to put things in movies now because they haven't quite figured out how they're going to manifest it. So if they start to put it into everybody's psyche now, into the conscious and subconscious, humanity projects it out and it actually assists those who are trying to create that.
This is why I'm saying technology. I don't want to give them shit anymore.
Yes, so this is really good because it links back. So you're actually consensually not partaking in the beta testing of the co-creation of the reality that they want.
Yeah.
That's what essentially your position.
Which is why I've gone back to the laws of nature. Reap what you sow and add flavour. Because if you don't go back to find out what it's meant to be, because we forgot, because we've been bombarded with all this bullshit for so many generations, like hundreds of years, we've been out of touch. So if we don't go back to where we came from, which is the earth and all the other living creatures and nature around us, to find out what it actually is that we're meant to be doing as participants in this reality, then we won't know what we're meant to be doing. So let's do that, find out what it is, and in my personal experience, it has been eye-opening to the fact that we're all to blame if we participate in any way, shape or form. So my idea is to get as far away from participating as I can and hopefully lead by example, because I don't want to manifest nothing that they want.
Yeah.
Or play any part in it.
No.
Yeah, I talk about placing your attention, and this is why I say about I don't place my attention in certain things, because I'm very aware that you are actually participating in the creation of something that you don't want. And this is why they targeted the indigenous populations when they built up the empire, because they were not only externally free, but they were internally free. And they had to stop that, because potentially, if you're internally free, or you've got inner freedom, you can manifest a reality that is a counter to what they want to create. Mm-hmm. So what they have to do is to hijack humanity's capabilities of manifesting through consent and allow it to play out. So going back to what I was saying about predictive programming. So if they have an idea of what they want to create, but they don't quite know how to do it or whatever, they fully understand the laws of manifestation and cause and effect. Cause and effect can only come into play when it becomes an external manifestation. So if they want to hijack organic projection capabilities, they have to draw it out. And the way they draw it out is by using events and films. So when people watch movies, their perception or their attention is being drawn out, placed into an external frequency or field, and then it falls under the law of cause and effect by a third or second party.
Another reason to throw your TV out the window.
Yeah, then it's reinserted back into your organic projection function, whatever descriptive you want to give it. And then the more people that participate in it, it actually assists the manifestation of a reality that they want to create. And this is where the dark occult world come into play, because it's the dark occult world that fully understand the inner functionings of a human. The scientists don't actually, because they don't even really recognize consciousness. They're only interested in the physical manifestations, so they will actually work in lockstep with the dark occultists, who will assist them with the knowledge of the internal functionings of a human. And this is what's happening.
Gosh! Wow. What you've actually just explained there was the perfect introduction to the next section of the show, which has been the new current thing, which has been on everyone's lips. You know, that new current thing since everything turned yellow and blue.
Yeah.
It's this thing here I'm talking about. Left, excellent meme by Sagehead. It's already gone around the world, that one. The one on the right is not our work, but it illustrates here the three software programs that have been downloaded. The one that we're talking about at the bottom on the right is the Will Smith, Chris Rock, Oscars program that got downloaded on Saturday night last week. Okay, so for anyone that's already worked out what it's all about, I apologise, because I've made quite a detailed presentation that would have been much better about 4 or 5 days ago when I had it ready. But it's Friday, so I'm going to go through it anyway. Hopefully, I'll go a little bit deeper, even if you have already worked out what this was all about, because I think I've worked it out. Okay, so I'm sure everyone, unless you've been living under a rock or you smashed all your screen, you saw what happened. Even yourself,
even
right?
I've seen
even JD.
Even I've seen it.
Even JD's seen it. Okay, so the first thing that people were saying, why would this happen? Why would it be staged? Because I mean, I'm just going to go straight there. It's obviously not organic, right? The Oscars have been dropping their ratings right up until 2021, down to like half of what it was in 2020, dying on its arse basically. So I thought I'd stick that one in there just for good measure. Okay, you know, we are doing research here after all. Now, you know, the conversation that we were having in the Guardians. Oh, he dropped out again. In the Guardians, we were having the conversation about the film. He's gone again. It's called King Richard, that Will Smith is in. It's actually a film about the Williams sisters' dad, right?
Yeah.
The big thing he said afterwards was, as a protector of women and my family, like Richard. So we have the moral argument that there's been like the pendulum of this thing in the Guardians.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got booted out. I'm back in now.
Yeah. Do you remember you were?
Can you repeat?
We were talking about the King Richard movie with Will Smith.
Yeah.
I found out it is called. The film is called King Richard, but it's about the Williams sisters' dad called Richard. So we were both right.
Yeah.
So you were talking about pendulums in this scenario. The moral pendulum of whether or not it was right to hit Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we could say that this is the axis, that the energy harvesting, or the attention getting drawn out for your projection to be hijacked. This is one of the axes upon which it was serving, as well as the argument as whether it was fake or not, right?
Yeah, and it was actually a pendulum wave because it wasn't just one pendulum; it was a multiplication of pendulums.
So when we talk about a pendulum, we're talking about people's opinion being split and it swinging across two binaries, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
and you're not allowed to have the third option, which would be your third eye of perception.
Okay.
Or optic. Sorry, third optic.
Third optic.
Third eye, which would be the center.
We have the theme of this being an energy harvesting ritual where people are arguing about whether the slap was right, whether Chris Rock was out of line, whether or not it's real, whether it's fake. These are all ways to draw out the perception, to draw out the attention, to make our energy harvestable and potentially to allow a route for pre-programming, for programming rather. Okay, so we've got this aspect to the story. This is some work by Auntie Coviet. Now, this is quite a good reference point. These are all the things that happened before. Will Smith promoting a family man image whilst being in the closet. Will Smith making his kids famous at a young age. Will Smith telling Oprah he pulls his trousers down at Jaden's school. Will Smith making Jaden physically uncomfortable during interviews. Will Smith opposing his son being gay. Now, all of those things that apparently have happened, and the NPC was totally fine with that. But Will Smith slapping Chris Rock in an obvious PR stunt at a shit awards to promote a shit film. So I thought that was a good one. Now, before I forget, I don't think anyone else has seen this. And big up Kearns the Arcadian that sent this to me. Check out this little video which I found on Will Smith's social media. I didn't find it, Kearnsy did. From 2019. Let me just play it quickly.
We out here on vacation in the Bahamas. Another beautiful day. Check it out. Check it out. Boom. I want to talk to y'all for a minute about the power of perception. You see, there's a lot that goes in to being a hot social media content provider. For instance, y'all think I got time to go on vacation? No. I got social to do. Come on, man, this is blue screen. In fact, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I haven't looked like this good in years. I've been totally computer generated since like the 90s. You know what? This ain't even real blue screen. It's 2019, y'all. Nothing's real.
That you felt that the government was deliberately spraying.
Okay, and as you can see, the video goes off on a bit of a tangent there about things that aren't related to Will Smith. So I thought that was quite interesting, you know. That
Will Smith, find.
Yeah, so big up Kearns the Arcadian for sending me that. Thank you very much. Now, from an optics point of view, now I'm not a fighting man, Master Lee is, but I am in a community of combat sports people and professional martial artists at a high level, international level, in my social media group. And the amount of people that are professional fighters, trainers, promoters, that thought that this is a real slap or a real strike was unbelievable. And I'm not going to call out any names. Chris Rock has clearly got his hand behind his back. He's leaning into it.
Brace.
He's bracing. He's eyeballing the person that's about to slap him, and he's actually wincing with his teeth. You can see his teeth, like you're about to get slapped around the face. So I mean, apart from the fact it looks fake as fuck, you don't really need these diagrams to show you that it was fake. But I'm just trying to cover all angles here. Now, this is what Inner Guardians are talking about with the golden ratios, even in the slap.
Yep.
No,
devil's in the detail.
Yeah, the devil's definitely in the detail with this one. So, I just put this one in there for good measure. Putin writes jokes for Chris Rock. US imposes sanctions on Russia for writing comedy material. Now, let's go a little bit deeper. The meaning of the name William. A strong-willed warrior. The name William is a timeless classic with English roots that date back almost 1,000 years. Still popular today. It means resolute protector or strong-willed warrior. What does Smith mean? Smith dates back to the Anglo-Saxon era. It derives from the occupation of smith, from the Old English smid, which means to hit or to strike. So the name Will Smith literally means a strong-willed, resolute protector who hits or strikes.
There he goes, living up to his name then, isn't he?
Living up to his name. He's like Phil McCann, the guy who was reporting on the petrol crisis. What's the other one? PC Rob Banks.
Yeah, they used to have Sarah Blizzard used to do the
there you go.
The weather.
Yeah, but they always used to pull her out for
Jack
the extreme
Frost
weather
as well. Jack Frost. You're taking the piss.
The other breakdown of this name is Will I Am.
Yes. I am Will.
Regarding the will, it's actually the will that is the problem with humanity, because humans kind of lack will. And it's only through having enough will that humans are actually able to transcend. So for anybody that's tried to practice meditation, normally the first stumbling block, or actually it goes on as a stumbling block, is the will. Either the will to actually try it, the will to actually do it, and the will to continue doing it. So even after a minute or 2 minutes, 3 minutes, there's always that kind of conversation of like, oh look, yeah, you've done enough now, give it up, yeah. Oh, my legs are hurting, or some kind of distraction. And it's the willpower. And this was this is what the dark occultists rely on, even down to things like parking tickets. Do people have the will to actually say that they're not going to pay it, or actually protest it, or even write an email explaining why they don't believe they should pay it? And this system is all dependent upon the lack of will.
Recently taken up, just fucking ignore them.
Yeah, and just to add to this, like I say, the system is completely based upon the lack of will in humanity or the population. And so what they do is they put barriers, as many barriers up, or give you as many tasks to do. So if you want to make a complaint, you normally have to go through so many interfaces or so many barriers to actually place your complaint that most people will give up, or they won't even try. And this is kind of like the revelation of the lack of will in humanity. And if humans had enough will, none of this would be taking place. They would not be able to execute any of this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
So is it just a coincidence that this is happening now? This is guy's called Will Smith. Obviously, I'm a stupid conspiracy theorist, so this is just a coincidence. Must be. So yeah, a strong-willed, resolute protector who hits or strikes, according to Google. Now, we'll take it to some Illuminati level here. On the top left, we've got a picture of Travis Scott concert with the concentric circles, and where allegedly people's souls were snatched and fed to Moloch and all that good shit. Okay, we covered that. It looks like we're the all-seeing eye with a 666 portal and a portal to hell in the middle, showing who they serve. All these people talking about is Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Because at the bottom here, I'll just blow that up a little bit. Like that. Like that, yeah. It looks very similar to the Travis Scott concert. Very similar indeed. And then when Will Smith's doing the acceptance speech, he's hiding his hand. I'll just get rid of the graphics so you can see that. Oh no, yeah, there it is on the top left. And here at the bottom, he stood in front of 3 pyramids with pyramids inside pyramids. People were saying it looks a bit like the paedophile symbol on the FBI. I would agree, from certain angles they do it look exactly like that. He stood there with the hidden hand, you know. All of these things are just little tidbits, they're little nuggets of information, but why is it always the same? Why is it always this?
Well, a top tip is when they stage these events, what they get you to place your attention upon is not actually what is their aim to insert into the subconscious. So it's always worth looking at the background just to see the real revelation of what they're actually doing. So the event itself is a distraction for your conscious, and then they'll insert something in the background or some kind of symbolism that the conscious mind doesn't understand, or it can't use any form of pattern recognition with that, but the unconscious or subconscious can or does. So there could be all kinds of sigils placed in the background that would then become inserted into your subconscious, which is then, because you've given consent by watching the event, and so kind of by sleight of hand, they've taken that one piece of consent to use like a false consent to insert the rest. The real data.
Even that ABC symbol in the bottom right corner looks like 666 to me. They just look like 3 6s with the tails cut or the tops cut off. Maybe I'm just seeing things. But yeah, I mean, I totally agree. When you watch any of these ceremonies, like the Olympics opening or closing ceremonies, it's always about for me, it's always about the stadium in the background and how it's transforming and what's popping up out of it. It's like, you know, the crap going on in the middle is just like, yeah, it's just a puppet show. So I haven't gone all the way on this yet, because we can see here, we've covered that, yes, it's obviously completely staged. These are the world's top actors. People are going, I can't believe it's staged. It's like, what are you talking about? It's on the biggest stage in the world at the Oscars with the best actors in the world. They're even getting awards for being the best actors on the planet. You think these people can't act? It's like, come on. So, where are we going next? Hugo Talks. He seems to be mirroring a lot of our work recently, Hugo Talks. I've noticed that. I have invited him on the show. Hugo, if you're watching, I'd love to come on for a chat. Crisis actors, he calls them. And then we've got some of the world's top actors here with their amazing acting surprised and shocked at what's happened. And I believe this photo here of Chris Rock, if you zoom in on it, it even looks like he's got little prostheses patch on his cheek. I've seen this in high definition, zoomed in. It looks very clear. Again, people are saying it's photoshopped.
Is he wearing a mouth guard?
Yeah, he's got a teeth guard in as well. So yeah, all these faces here, so shocked. Look at The Rock. That's probably some of the best acting he's ever done. I mean, Matt Damon, top left, he deserves an Oscar just for that face. Some of them are laughing. Yeah, brilliant acting. Okay, Oscar worthy. Well, he got an Oscar directly after for this amazing piece of acting.
Well, just to add something.
Sorry, I ruined it there. Go on. Yes.
Just to add something slightly. I think with a lot of these staged events, they kind of partially script everything, but they do allow a certain degree of improvisation to make it a little bit more authentic. So, I mean, yeah, chances are they knew full well exactly what was going to happen, but it could have been the case that Chris Rock wasn't 100% sure as to what exactly was going to take place.
The audience didn't have to know about it. The only person that had to know was Will Smith.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But these are minor details. You know, the gist is what we're talking about here. There's no point. We don't want to get sucked into the pendulum by discussing, going back and forth, discussing the minor details. The important thing is, you know, the theme. So, you know, obviously, I'm one of the UK's leading anti-Soviet conspiracy theorists. So I'm going to say something silly like, "Did you see who sponsored the Oscars? It's sponsored by the Soviet Union." And people would laugh at me and they say, "You stupid idiot! That couldn't possibly be true. That couldn't possibly be true. Who does sponsor the Oscars?" Got bad news, guys. It is the Soviet Union. The sponsors leading the Oscars' leading sponsors are BioNTech and Pfizer. This is real. This is not a joke. This is not a rise above meme. Sagehead didn't make this. Neither did Auntie Coviot. This is true. Okay? If you didn't know this, let's go a little bit deeper. Pfizer and BioNTech are proud to sponsor the Oscars. They are the main leading sponsors. I couldn't find many other sponsors, to be honest. We are heartened to see the film industry gather in person and alongside fans to celebrate the talent and the artistry produced in the last year. A Pfizer spokesperson told Fierce Pharma Marketing. So this magazine, it's called Fierce Pharma Marketing, not just like pharmaceutical marketing, like fierce marketing. Like, why would you need to fiercely market pharmaceutical drugs? Surely people just need them to make themselves well. Okay, here's some great quotes. The Britney-making pair, which is BioNTech and Christmas Miracle, they've teamed up 2 years ago and produced the world's biggest selling product last year with Comirnaty. Now, for anyone that doesn't know what Comirnaty is, that is the second release of Pfizer's Christmas Miracle, which was the one that apparently passed the FDA test, which was very questionable, and it was called Comirnaty. But the world's biggest selling product. It didn't say like the world's greatest lifesaver, the world's best medicine, the world's biggest selling product, right? Pfizer, BioNTech,
from the company that's been sued the most amount of money in history.
The largest fine, largest fine ever. A little bit closer. Yeah, the largest criminal fine in history. They're very proud to sponsor the Oscars, obviously.
So technically, they're the biggest criminals.
Yeah, the world's biggest criminals on record.
Wow.
They've been fined more than any of the drugs cartels in Colombia, Mexico, Brazil, anywhere.
And probably killed more people as well.
Well, they made them look like amateurs. These are the real bad guys. So the sponsorship event, blah blah blah. In its return, one could infer was made possibly predominantly by Britney Spears, including Pfizer and BioNTech. So they're basically saying that the whole reason that the Oscars is allowed to happen is because of Pfizer's Christmas Miracle. The film industry has embraced Britney Spears with open arms, masking and other protocols designed to help prevent disease and serious illness from the people's pandemic of COVID 1984. We are pleased to work with the film industry to further promote public health. Oh, really? Wait a minute. So the film industry is openly working in conjunction with the architects of the Soviet Union to promote public health. I'm glad about that. How do you feel about that, JD? Do you feel safer?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I can't wait to go to the box office now to enjoy
my next... Might as well go back to work, can't I?
Yeah, my next film sponsored directly by Health Chancellor Gates and Lord Schwab.
But think about the money, right? Because none of us were asked whether the government should spend money on these products, pharmaceutical products. Yeah, so it's there's no choice in it. They've spent taxpayers' money, one way or another, and then with the profits, it's then funded and filtered into the entertainment industry through sponsorship. I mean, have they quoted how much money they gave them?
Well, here we go. I've got some figures here. I don't know if it's the figures you're looking for. Pfizer would not share the details on how much it spent on the Oscars. Sorry, Master Lee. But according to Showbiz cheat sheet, last year the event brought in 115.3 million. This 115 has been showing up. I can't remember who made a video about this, but this 115 is the new 33. It's been showing up in all of these financial transactions that the parasite companies are broadcasting into the mainstream media in the last year. Someone made a fantastic video about this. Maybe someone in the live chat has seen it and knows about this 115 number. Obviously, it's 115.3. That's the advertising. That was a 30-second ad goes for 1.7 to 2.2 million. So they're just talking about advertising revenue there. But if they're getting 115 million out on advertising,
it's probably 33% of the net profit.
It wouldn't surprise me. Now, let's go to the next stage of this story. Why did Chris Rock apparently tell a joke about G.I. Jane and the film G.I. Jane 2 and this woman? It's because her head appears to be shaved, like G.I. Jane in the movie. Looks shaved to me. But apparently she's got a condition called alopecia. I think it's National Alopecia Week this week as well, isn't it? Funny that. Hair loss condition. It's caused by autoimmune disease, I think. Funny, that's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it? Anyway, so a joke was made that she looks like G.I. Jane. Will Smith has slapped Chris Rock because apparently she has alopecia. And we can see where this is going if you haven't already worked it out. Here are the clinical trials of Pfizer's new treatment for alopecia. Okay. They started in 2019, just before the onset of the COVID union. They're going on until 2024. 1,000 participants in this phase 3 open label multi-center participants with alopecia. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, right. So, Pfizer. Did you know about this?
No.
Oh, boom. Right. Yeah, it's probably because I've been banned from Facebook. So Pfizer are producing a new alopecia drug. Chris Rock has told a joke about Jada Pinkett's hair because she's bald and apparently she got alopecia. Will Smith has slapped him at the Oscars. Okay. Can we see where this is going? What causes alopecia? It's autoimmune diseases, right? What causes autoimmune diseases? Article B. Alopecia areata after a Britney Spears concert ticket. So, obviously, when you attend multiple Britney Spears concerts and you go and see the Boosters too, you may tend to have problems with your immune system. It might be called an autoimmune disease, VAIDS, something like that. It's been talked about. This has been. Oh, I better be careful with this. Better be really careful. Oh, Michael. All right. Okay. Yeah. So we can see what's on the screen. It says here that alopecia can be caused by you know what. Now, Jada, Jadda. You can see what's on the top left of the screen. Is it a coincidence that the same 4 letters are the name of this report? Maybe I'm really, really weird, but you mix up those 4 letters: J-A-A-D, Jada, case rep, Jada Pinkett Smith. Probably just a stupid coincidence. Maybe I'm reaching on that one, I don't know. That's just how my brain works now. Since Master Lee taught me the synthesis, what can I say? So we can see where this is going. Now, on the right are pictures of what people look like who've got alopecia and then they shave their head to try and cover the fact that they've got very patchy hair. It's a very terrible condition, and my heart goes out to anyone that suffers from it. I can't see, and I've shot my wife is a professional hairstylist, colorist. She's worked at high-level London establishments. She's seen alopecia. She's done work for people with alopecia to try and cover it up. And she's looked at Jada. It doesn't look like she's got very bad alopecia. It almost looks like she's just shaved her head. I'm not a doctor. I've always said it before. I'm just same as Health Chancellor Gates. I've got no medical qualifications at all. But it doesn't look the same. Anyone in the live chat, does this look like alopecia? I don't know. No. So basically what we've been looking at potentially is just a massive pharmaceutical advert for a coming condition where loads of people might have their hair fall out.
And again, they've used the exact same probably law structure to get out of the side effects of that as well. I bet they've been made exempt until whenever.
Well,
if it's a trial.
Yeah, exactly. For the same with the people in the trial for the alopecia drug, it's probably making their hair fall out as well, and they're exempt from that because they've signed up for a trial.
Yeah.
Same as everyone that's been to the Britney Spears concert.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, you've got alopecia because you've been to Britney Spears. Well, you consented.
But wouldn't alopecia be a desirable side effect for transhumanism?
Oh no! Stop!
Oh, don't go to the iRobot either.
Oh mate, so
Think about it.
Well, it would
gender neutral.
Yeah, you've got. What did Britney Spears do? She shaved all her hair off. Oh my god, the simulation's getting really weird. Anyway, stop making fun of Will Smith's wife. There's a photo of this is actually a photo of Wesley Snipes, believe it or not. Right? This is what Wesley Snipes looks like now. Now, the one on the right here from Auntie Coviet, I stand with Chris Blackrock. Because obviously, you know, who the Oscars is basically owned by Pfizer. But who owns Pfizer? Well, it's BlackRock or Vanguard or both of them. So yeah, if you stand with Chris Rock, you stand with BlackRock. Back to Wesley Snipes. What the fuck is he wearing? What is he actually wearing here? Now, on the next slide, I think we've got a bit more of an insight into what he's wearing. Mm-hmm. That is blatantly Masonic garb.
Mm-hmm.
We're not reaching here, are we, in the Guardians? That's Masonic. Look at the little apron and everything.
Yeah, looks that way.
He's not looking too healthy. It looks like he's been to too many Britney Spears concerts. Look at the state of him. That's not the Wesley Snipes that I remember.
No, that's not Blade, is it?
No, that's not Blade. That's what was he called in Demolition Man? He had a cool name in Demolition Man. Can't remember. Yeah, that's not the Wesley Snipes I remember. It looks like someone's been feeding on him.
Mm-hmm. Or he's been missing his Andrena.
Yeah, he looks hungry, thirsty. So, it looks like this has been some sort of big occult ritual, a big advert for a coming hair loss pandemic, and the someone's saying that's a fake Wesley Snipes. Oh, it's Helen. Maybe Helen, this is the real Wesley Snipes, and the ones you've seen in films is fake. That's the stunt double. This is what Wesley Snipes really looks like. The other one was CGI. So yeah, the alopecia drug commercial was sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. So there you go, guys. I have wrapped it up. I'm pretty sure that is the basic. That's the bottom of the rabbit hole, as far as the Oscars is concerned. Yeah. Not only is it fake, not only was it an energy harvesting ritual, they were also advertising the new drug coming from the Christmas Miracle Factory. Damn. Coming from Santa's gnomes. Santa's gnomes at the Pfizer factory have been building next year's Christmas Miracle. And again, all the actors here so surprised.
The world is definitely a stage.
It literally is. Absolutely brilliant. This is from Rise and Shine. These up and coming memesters we've got. Deep Bait, Affected One, Rise and Shine, the newest addition to the stable. These guys are really giving my veterans a run for their money at the moment. Really, really good work here. That's how we do it, Rise Above.
Don't believe me?
Random jingle. So, what else have we got here? Oh, excellent. So obviously, Will Smith has lost a lot of cred in some people's minds for losing his cool. He's just not a legend anymore. Master Lee has taken the mantle. He's picked up the gauntlet from Will Smith. I am legend. Should have replaced the E's with threes.
That's a good one.
It is a good one. I like that. I like the dogs in there as well. It's good. Scarf around you. Never seen you with a scarf around your neck either. That's what makes it look so weird.
I've actually got a shoe mag, so I actually bought one the other week.
A shoe mag? What's that?
Shoe mag. It's like it's like a scarf.
Is that
you can
like
turn it into a. You wear them in the desert. Or you can wear them anywhere.
Okay, so it's like the white ones. You sort of put it up over the top of your head. A shoe mag. Okay.
Yeah.
And on the right here, Auntie Coviet's Harp beer. Everywhere we're serving. Wait a minute, is that just a picture? Is there actually a beer called Harp beer?
Harp.
Well, Harp's been pumping out the weather this week.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's have a little chat about that.
Wow.
Oh man, I need to mention this because I was walking down the street yesterday after work. So I go and get my hair cut in my barber's. Is it Benji B's down in Poole? And like, I had a t-shirt on. And as I was saying to you before the show, like, We're right on the coast here, right on the water, so we never get snow. Never. Mate, big fat chunks of snow were coming down, and I had a T-shirt on.
Hold on. Are you saying live on air that it was snowing?
Yes.
Are you an expert or a meteorologist?
No.
Do you have any right to say that it's snowing?
Should I consult an expert before I make such an assumption like that?
We need at least 3 government experts to tell us that it was snowing.
33 peer-reviewed studies. Well,
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't
Meteorologists Organisation.
All I know is I looked
on the BBC.
I turned around. 1 minute it was sunny. I turned around and there was big ass snowflakes coming down, and then it went away. The sun came out. It was summer again for 5 minutes, and then polystyrene started falling from the sky.
I thought it needed to be like 2 or 3 degrees maximum to consider snow, and you would need that 1 or 2 days either side of the snow. You can't have 7 degrees and then have snow and then it go back to 7 degrees in the same day. Where does the what, you got a pocket of cold air that lasts for 2 hours?
Last week I was digging in my allotment in a pair of shorts and some welly boots and nothing else, like, and now it's winter again and it's snowing. It doesn't make sense. And the snow was not snow. It looked like if you like accidentally stabbed a beanbag.
Yeah. It looks a bit light. Like it's not falling like bits of water, like it's light in the air sort of thing. But anyway, I walked into the barber's and sat down, and it wasn't the normal guy that cuts my hair. And I was saying about it, I was like, weird weather, and he's like, yeah, well. And I said, yeah, it's probably about as... He's saying, well, yeah, probably like weather manipulation. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah. He goes, oh, no, he said probably global warming. And I was like, had a bit of a laugh. I was like, yeah, that's probably about as real as that pandemic. And he goes, yeah, right, yeah. So I was like, oh, cool, this barber's cool. And then I started talking about weather manipulation, and he knew about it. I was like, deep. And then we started talking about the Soviet Union. And I told him the story about it. I've been speaking out of protest. Dickhead let me go on for like 10 minutes, tell the whole story. I was like, oh, you'd love my podcast. He's like, I've seen Rise Above, shut up, bro. And I was like, what? And I was like, yes. He's like, yeah. Ben, the other guy, he told me the other week, he's like, you need to watch this guy's podcast. And yeah, so the big up, the barber's Benji B's in Poole. He let me tell the whole story, pretending like he didn't know. And he's like, yeah, I've seen your podcast. So hopefully they're watching tonight. It's nice to know. It's nice to know that there are people out there that are paying attention, even if they're not saying anything about it. They're paying attention.
Do you want to give them another plug?
Yeah, it's down in Old Town Poole. It's a lot of Kurdish guys and a really nice barbers called Benji B's. They do the whole wet hot towel thing, massage afterwards. Really, really good service, and you can go there. Obviously, you don't have to wear a nappy or anything like that. And you can tell the truth about the Soviet Union and laugh about what's coming out the radio and stuff like that. They're cool.
It's always good to know.
Yeah, we have a little giggle if someone comes in and they're all like masked up and they just don't laugh at them. Yeah, it was funny. So he's saying that, yeah, he mugged me off. Yeah, he did sort of mug me off for about 10 minutes, but we had a good laugh about it. I said, oh, you let me tell the whole story. So, yeah, we'll see what's going on if we keep having storms like every couple of weeks.
Well, it was getting too hot in the greenhouse for some of my plants, so it was like time for them to come out because they're starting to. They just didn't look like they needed to be in there anymore. They needed to be in the ground. Put them in the ground. Next minute, someone's saying it's going to snow on Wednesday. What?
Yeah.
Well, lo and behold, it did snow, but it's not like it froze the plant. It could have froze the plants. There was no cold snap. It was just some snow. I mean, it was down here anyway.
It could be a mechanism to kickstart the famine.
Yeah.
I was telling the barbers a couple of months ago, the other barber anyway, I was saying like, it's only a matter of time before we have climate change lockdowns. And he was like, nah. I was like, mate, they already planted the seed for that in 2020. There are articles saying how great the lockdowns were for air quality, for overall pollution, etc., etc., etc. All the seeds were planted. that if you stay at home, you stop driving your cars, you don't go to work, you work from home, that everything's just going to be better in every way possible. So it's not hard to imagine that if weather modification technology is used to make dodgy, unpredictable weather that's out of character, out of season, that they could start saying, well, this must be caused by climate change. We probably need some lockdowns to alleviate it.
I think it'd be very easy. It'd be almost too easy to do that.
Yeah, very easy.
Considering what we witnessed for the last 2 years, I think anything's possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything.
Yeah, even I think we could be surprised at what people could fall for. Right, next subject. This weasel. Now, at first, when I saw this picture on the right-hand side of Russell Bland kissing Harari, who wants to turn us all into hackable animals and put Schwab's nanobots up our butthole, I thought it was photoshopped, because if you look at his hand around his shoulder, it looks a bit dodgy. His hand on the book also looks a bit dodgy, but this is not a Photoshop picture. This is a 100% real picture. These guys even went on a whole tour together. So Harari, who's saying humans are now hackable animals, we had a big long chat about sheep farm with this guy. I talked about this guy a couple of weeks ago. A lot of people are talking about this guy. I saw a montage of his videos, and like, this is light work compared to some of the stuff he said. He wants the surveillance underneath everyone's skin, inside our stomachs, inside our bloodstreams. And here he is, Russell Brand, kissing him, reading his book, Yuval Noah Harari. Yeah, what's it called? Probably like 21 Ways to Hack Humans in the 21st Century or something like that. So, it's no surprise to us, but I think there are still some people that...
21, 33.
There you go. I didn't spot that. Yeah, he's got 33 right in the front of his book.
Middle fingers on the eye.
Yeah. Yeah, you couldn't make it up, could you? So, yeah, and look at how he's reading the book with a little smirk on his face. Like, oh, yeah. So while he's telling you about the Greater Reset and everything they want to do, he is going on tour with Lord Schwab's top advisor, who is literally telling you the graphic detail. He's the guy that's going to do it. Lord Schwab ain't going to do it. He doesn't know how to do that. He just knows how to be like a Nazi criminal and a warlord. Like, this guy actually has the skill and the know-how to put nanobots inside your butthole. And he probably designed them. And here is Russell Bland. I mean, what can I say? So, again, this is no surprise to most people. Here's the line of connection between Bland going straight to Rothschild. Goes through Goldsmith. See, the goldsmith works under the Rothschild, you see. What's a goldsmith? It's actually the one that strikes the gold. Like we were saying earlier on, who writes this? It's crazy. So Russell goes out with Jemima. Russell's a Marxist, but don't mention I'm friends with Jacob. Jemima is brother of Zach Goldsmith, business partner of Jacob Rothschild. Alex, Jacob, yeah. Doesn't take a genius to work out what's going on here. Here's another good story, right? Not just Slough, there's like actually towns going bankrupt. Isn't this like the lead up to something like a Great Reset? Where a whole town...
They're just going to crash everything, aren't they? From us not being able to afford energy to everything in our cities collapsing. I mean, even to the point of like, from where I'm from originally, Derby is a little town. Like, it's only called a city because it's got a cathedral, right? But they put a big Westfield centre in the town.
Yeah.
But all the other shops died. So now it's all in a box, a big cube.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
A big cube that everybody goes to and purges. Do you know what I mean? But the way that they've done it is they've ruined the whole city through one corporation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not a new thing, but now they're speeding up because they know the awakening is speeding up. So they've got to crash things quicker.
Well, this is how like you could get a whole town onto a social credit score app. Because if the council and the housing associations in that town that are underneath the council all go bust, so everyone, can we get rid of these chatbots in the best cams and fun girls, thanks. Everyone that's on benefits or living off like the state handouts and trapped in that, right? Every single person in that whole borough is instantly going to have all of their responsibility handed over to, well, it would be the EU if it wasn't, if we're in the EU, but it not. It will be the World Economic Forum. So you could have like a whole town of people instantly being switched onto a social credit app. This is how it happen.
Something that everybody needs to consider is that the New World Order wants to get rid of government. Think about it.
Yeah, of course.
But it wants one central power that has control over everywhere, right?
I don't even think it's that. I think that they don't even want humans to be in charge. It's going to be algorithms and AI. And
yeah, so when I look at that and how far forward they are, the only response I can think of at the moment is, again, off the grid, back to nature, because it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we can all see where this is going. So as we're coming to like the final part of the show now, it's where we get like metaphysical. And my final story to end off my slideshow is really going there, because in the last week, what I've noticed is that the talk about the transhuman aspect of the metaverse has really been ramped up and really laid on the table. It's not just like, in 20, 30 years, this might be able to happen. It's actually getting very in our face now. Will you die naturally? Will you be uploaded? Will your mind be uploaded into the metaverse by 2045? So we're talking, 23 years, they're saying.
It's like I was saying to you earlier about that show on Netflix called Upload.
Yep.
And it's like this guy dies and is got a rich girlfriend, so she pays for him to get uploaded to the whatever they call it, which will be that. And he can live all this fake happy life for as long as she keeps paying. But as soon as she gets over his death and gets with next man, she stops paying.
Cancels the subscription, cancels the direct debit. So
and he gets degraded and degraded and degraded. And
what? So he's still living digitally, but
he's alive, but he can't even afford to move, bruv. He's sat in a little cell.
Whoa!
Like it's deep. It's not a fun watch, but subliminally, when you look at the message, like that's what they're trying.
It reminds me of the Revelations verse about men seeking death and cannot find it.
It seems that what they're trying to do is mimic all the occult with technology. Because the occult is something that the human race has always been able to do for a long, long time, and like magic and things like that, and different ways of thinking, and like with the meditation stuff or telepathy and things like that.
But now they're trying to externalize it with technology.
Yeah, they're trying to make the technology version.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And it gave me an idea about something. Someone was telling me about Tantra, yeah? And Master Lee, you'll probably know about this. Right, so in some Tantra rituals, they play certain frequencies and do certain chants, and they bring dead bodies back to life, and they dance around, yeah?
Reanimation.
Because you know when someone dies, the hair still grows, the nails still grow for a couple of weeks. So they get them in that stage, and these certain frequencies can bring the bodies back to life unconsciously, right? Now, if you think of the digital version of that, everybody's filled with graphene, yeah? And then they switch on the you-know-what's-its.
Yeah,
and they pump a certain frequency.
Then you've got a living dead army of techno drones.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, this goes directly back to what I spoke about with the cosmos, with the reanimation and the resurrection.
Okay. Can you remind us about that?
Well, yeah, this has been going for years, like hundreds of years, and it's kind of it's quickened with a movement called the Cosmos, which was around about 1850, I believe, with some spiritual and psychologists and ideologists getting together and basically forming like a movement. It's not like a singular movement. There's many factions in it, but it all leads us towards transhumanism, and it's kind of like a mixture of like Christian religion when they talk about the resurrection. And so, one second. So there's a parallel or correlation between the ideas of the Book of Revelations and technology and transhumanism. I've alluded towards this quite a few times over the last few months.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating subject, but it boils down to a simple natural law of cause and effect. That it's only something that is externally manifested that falls under law and effect. And when something falls under law and effect, it means, cause and effect, it means that it can be controlled. Anything that doesn't fall under the law of cause and effect means it has freedom. So I don't know how much you want me to go on. Or
No, that's fine. I just wanted, for anyone that wasn't familiar with cosmonism, because that's something you've only sort of recently brought to the table, and I've noticed a lot of other people have started making videos about it recently as well. Funny that.
Yeah, well, it's been veiled, and that is the real agenda. This is not a new agenda. It goes right back to specifically around about 1850 with a new thought.
Like the date of the alleged last reset, or just after the last reset. So what was I saying? Yeah, die, get uploaded to the metaverse from your earthly body, and you become a living app. Apparently that's by 2045. This is what they start article saying. This book here by William Henry. The singularity is near. The next human, the perfect rainbow, light body, and the technology of human transcendence. Perfect rainbow light body. That sounds really nice, doesn't it? Yeah, it'd be lovely. It will be rainbows. So, what's the tabloid press saying about this? The Daily Star says humans could live 150 years in the metaverse if they just upload their brains to the web. Eternal life could be within your grasp. Humans could upload their brains to a metaverse to live longer, experts claim. And the final one is Science Daily, I think. That was the Mirror there. Live longer for 150 years in the metaverse, but only if you are willing to permanently leave, this is the best one, permanently leave your physical body and become a living app. Wow. Live for 150 years in the metaverse if you're willing to become a permanent app. Humans have always been fascinated about being immortal. With the advancements in digital technologies, eternal life could be possible, but only in virtual reality, as people need to leave their physical bodies behind and become living apps in the metaverse and live in the metaverse.
So instead of you ascending to the next realm, and
you'll be trapped in the metaverse forever. I've got to say it right. This is the craziest thing that anyone's ever said, and it's what we said right at the start when Master Lee first came on our show and started talking about the synthetic universe. The first thing we all said when we discussed it is like, well, I knew about this when I first researched transhumanism. My always thought was that it would be a way to upload your soul into a cloud-based system, so they trap your soul forever in a digital prison and you can't transcend. Take your soul out of the meat sack and put it within a Rick and Morty box, inside a Rick and Morty box, inside a Rick and Morty box. A parallel universe inside that one, hidden away, never transcend.
And this is where the alopecia fits in nicely.
And the corona.
Wait. How does alopecia fit into this? What? Because the
connectors, the plugins. Look at the film Matrix.
Everyone's bald.
And your hair is your roots as well. So
my friend Cappy, he was a Finnish Rasta man, and he had long blonde dreads right down to here. And he said, like, when he at one point cut them off, but before he cut them off, he said his dreads, like, he could fall asleep on a train, really stoned, a long train ride, and wake up at exactly the right station, get on another bus, do it exactly, get all the time. As soon as he cut his hair off, that just finished. He said it was like having a sixth sense.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, all of the rituals that are designed to attract or tune you into certain frequencies, it's all done on the back of the head and down the neck.
So I'm really pleased that the wife is learning Indian head massage very shortly, which is something we're hopefully going to offer at the retreat. Maybe along with other things at the same time would be quite good. Indian head massage, yeah, I've had it at raves before, and it can literally take you to out-of-body experience levels. Yeah, really powerful stuff.
Because we're transmitters, and if you look at the chakra system,
well, this is what this is all about, isn't it? With the corona, which is the other word for
crown.
Crown chakra.
So, oh, mate, you've really taken it to a next level. So not only
trying to stop us in the next realm that they can't even access. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, trying to get us. It's basically a way of preventing us from exiting the prison that we're already in, that they stand just outside of energetically, and that's how they manipulate us. They're also within a prison, but it's just outside of our one. That's our meat suits. Our consciousness, our eternal essence exists from outside, way outside of that box. But if they can trap us within a box from our own consent, that's it. That's finished. That's endgame. And I knew.
You know what the greatest enemy to the powers that shouldn't be and those without birth certificates? It's the inner anarchist, not the external one.
Yeah, because the external anarchist can get locked in a box.
Yeah.
The internal anarchist evades the physical prison by creating ultimate freedom inside.
Yeah, and it's how to be invisible. It's also how to be invincible.
Yeah, that's the rise above mental fortress. Yeah, so look, we're now at a stage where they're telling us openly that the metaverse is a place that you can live forever if you are willing to give up your physical body. So as far as I'm concerned, this is proper vindication for anyone that's called us tinfoil hats, whereas conspiracy theorists, when we've said, yeah, they want you to load up your consciousness into the internet. Well, guess what? Look.
Nice picture to go with it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, look, showing you how you look old, you're going to die. Yeah. In the metaverse, you'll always look young.
Covering one of your eyes.
Yeah.
By controlling your age.
Yeah. No surprises for anyone that's been paying attention. This is what they've been writing at about 10, 20 years ago. So while we're having people wanting to like live forever, jump into the metaverse. California, they're about to open, like to start a law or to petition to start a law that would allow mothers to kill their babies up to 7 days after birth. Some of these things that are going on in California, especially with this abortion stuff, like it's proper Alex Jones stuff, but it's all true. That's the craziest thing. So we've got people that are willing to say life is so precious that you must live forever, upload yourself into the metaverse. Well, there's new laws coming out in California that would allow you to abort babies that have been alive for 7 days. How can we have so much care about life that we want to extend it forever, or at least 150 years in the metaverse, when we're having legislation to kill babies? What kind of inversion is that?
I'm curious as to why they say 150 years.
I would have thought they'd have promised like 500 years, because 150 years is only that's only double your regular lifespan.
Because the people, the youngest people that are probably going to pay for you to rent your space there will probably die after 150 years. Then someone's got to pay for them. They ain't going to pay for the ones they were paying for when they get uploaded.
Well, the early adopters will always get the shittest deal. So when they give away their soul, they only get 150 years in the metaverse. If you wait another 15, 20 years when people are a bit sketchy about it, they'll probably offer you 1,000 years for the same deal.
What was that number you was on about with regards to the advertising?
Which
115? Is it 115?
Yeah, 115. The 115 has been appearing in all of the financial reports about how much they've been spending, what the expenditure has been for the Soviet Union and for Biden and people like that. I saw a big thing about it. Why? What have you got?
No, I'm just curious as to why they've said 150, not 160, 170, 120.
Yeah,
so it's one in the five.
Six, isn't it?
But they were talking about living forever in one sentence, and then 150 years in the next sentence. That there's a big difference between
Maybe it's a
150
mortgage.
and forever.
It's like a type of mortgage.
I think that's probably more like it. Definitely.
It's probably like a lease agreement or something. Then you have to renegotiate your terms and conditions after 150 years.
Yeah, you probably have to. Maybe you have to entice some more souls in, because obviously once you've given away your soul, you've only got one unit of that. You can't sort of expand on it. So if you want more time, what are you going to do? They'll probably send you back, or some computer virus or some way to infect real. Come to the metaverse. If you bring us 2 more souls, we'll give you another 500 years. Just
instead, if people just didn't fear that and just went into the woods and connected with nature and realised they were a part of everything, then they would never have to submit to that.
They just never even consider it.
JD, you're reading my mind. I was just about to say that this brings us right back to off-grid, because I reckon one of the mechanisms they will use to entice people into the metaverse will be like a real shit life, and the only way you can really escape that kind of bad decision making will be to create your own natural life off-grid. I mean, you have to factor in that off-grid is only a generic term. It could mean quite a few different things, but I think off-grid literally refers to living outside of the matrix or the system that they've put on offer. And it's an offer. Remember, you have to remember it's always an offer.
Yeah. Just got to stop accepting.
Yep. So while they're making the living conditions shit for everyone, and it's already happened that all of our prices for everything have just like doubled. While that's happening and they're enticing people into the metaverse, I think some of the part of it is going to, they're going to carry on showing what the other half are living like. Look at some of this. Look at the projections they're making for, BlackRock investment firm warns an entitled generation needs to brace for a shock of shortages and higher inflation. Experts warn Americans will pay an extra $433 a month for basic goods this year. Nice little 33 in there. Pharmaceutical billionaire's son buys a $33 million mansion in exclusive Sydney suburb after pocketing $10.7 billion off the back of the Soviet 1984 Britney Spears concert tour. So, I just put these, how far are these apart? 11 days, these two. Both from the same, I think these, Daily Mail and Daily Mail Australia.
This is, it's directly connected, and it correlates totally with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is like a pyramid system of survival or life based on needs, and then you reach a certain level where it's not about needs, it's about like the free will and desire.
So at the bottom of the pyramid, you've got like shelter, food, safety.
Yeah, I can, if you want, I can kind of
do it quickly. I know Maslow's pyramid, but I'll let you do it.
Yeah, for those who are not aware of it, and it's only a model. I tend to use it for a lot of stuff that I do when it comes to personal protection. But you have to bear in mind it's just a model, but I think it's a very good one, probably the best one that we've got to use at the moment. But at the bottom of the pyramid, you've got things like food, water, sleep, and warmth or energy, like heat. Second, you've got safety, security, and protection. That's where I kind of fit in. The number 3, you got love, friendship, and intimacy. Now, as you can see, right, as you start to go through or start to go up, they become less physical. And then number 4, and this is the one that's very important, obviously it's at the top, is personal esteem and the feelings of accomplishment, which is connected to like growth needs, or it's not actually a need. It becomes a desire to grow as a person. And so if they can keep us on the level of number one, which is food, water, sleep, and energy, or you could just put it all together and say utilities. If they can keep us worried and stressing and fighting over basic utilities, then we're never ever going to be able to transcend to 3 and 4. And that's the transcendence of or the growth of a natural human. That's when you're successful, is when you're able to be able to live and thrive through the whole complete pyramid, and everything's taken care of. Straight away you can identify or see that they really don't want personal esteem and the feelings of accomplishment. And for as long as you're fighting for basic utilities, or struggling, or worried, you're never really going to consider things like love, friendship, intimacy. And this takes us back to what JD said right at the beginning, that when you go down the path of off-grid, you tend to magnetize or attract people that are more into love, friendship, and intimacy, and kindness, and helping, and support, and networking.
Yeah, I think that's very true.
You also attract a lot of people that are like, but are you okay though? Like, you're living in a caravan, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, it's a choice. What do you mean it's a choice? Why would you do that?
Have people asked you if you're a new age traveller or anything like that?
Not yet, but the first day that I got it, some travellers pulled up and asked me if I was selling it.
I tried to buy it off you. Yeah, so I think that's going to be the big split, isn't it? More people are going to hopefully try and choose a more natural, organic life, even if it means, staying put where you are in your house or your flat, but trying to eject themselves from the consumer lifestyle. Like you say, be more resourceful. Don't buy a new pair of whatever it is just because you fancy it. And I've been a massive culprit of that, but I've stopped now. I'll go and buy tracksuits from Primark now. They're cheap. That's fine. It's like, don't you go and spend 100 quid on a tracksuit every 5 minutes. But yeah, and as that happens, we're going to see an increase in the Coviet architect class, I think, doing shit like this, buying £33 million mansions.
I mean, just to plug in as well, what I'm trying to do with Guerrilla Republic and Drax out in Peterborough. So he's got Project Abundance, and he's growing organic crops on quite a big scale. And what I want to do is create some workshops with him, like Guerrilla Republic with Project Abundance, teaching young people how to grow from start to finish, all the different stages of growing, and making music about the importance of doing so, and music videos of them growing.
It's awesome.
And they've got their bars on there about growing plants and why it's important, and then get that out there.
Yeah,
because
it's just contributing to this whole genre that's being cultivated now. People like Inspector Veg, all of his content is about veganism, health, promoting healthy living, anti-Coviet shit, freedom. There's no consumer bars on there at all.
It's all things that we have direct control over.
Yeah.
The key word,
about improving your life.
The key word that you brought up just then, it keeps coming up, is to grow, or growth. The artificial system isn't about growth. It's about buying or purchasing, like ownership, in terms of using a monetary system. And so if you look at, say, the synthetic universe, I guarantee you 100%, it won't be a case of just having a free upload. They'll have to factor in some kind of currency, some trade-off where you have to buy life extension. It has to be purchased.
This is why it's 150 years.
I think we've already potentially seen what it is. Do you remember that 2020 666 33 patented crypto shekel harvesting technology that Health Chancellor Gates had in it? We found a patent for it in 2020. Biometric implant. Your body sits there consuming some impressions, and it farms the responses and turns it into cryptocurrency. What about if your body would be literally sat here doing what they want it to do, farming what they need into cryptocurrency, which you get to spend in the metaverse? That is literally the Matrix.
It's called it's called Facebook. Think about it, because what they're actually doing is they're monitoring and harvesting data on your emotional responses and reactions to stimulation.
And you've got your phone that looks you directly in the pupil and listens to the tone of your voice and everything.
It knows everything about you. Yeah, it already knows all of your responses to every stimuli you can possibly imagine, because that's what social media has been farming for all these years. Even when you're liking your mate's pictures and stuff like that, Al Gore's already looked at that picture. It's put it into 33,000 subcategories of micro responses and macro responses. They've all been gauged. They've all been put into 33 million graphs. And when you click like on that picture, that response is stored. Let alone when you fill out one of those stupid questionnaires that tells you whether you're a potato or a walrus. You know those ones, or with the photo, or any of that stuff. That's all parasite data farming.
I don't know if I mentioned it before about the digital wizards and digital magicians.
Yes,
they play around with the algorithms. So basically, what you do, I mean, everybody can participate in this to one degree or another. So, as an example, social media is socially profiling you. So, if you're kind of honest and like things that you like and dislike things that you dislike, then it can build a very good profile about you as a character and stuff. To kind of mess that up, you have to kind of post things that you maybe don't like, and vice versa. And you can just kind of play around. A lot of them, they'll use, like, I don't know, they'll just put videos of like 70s bands or like really uncool stuff, and like things that you shouldn't like and dislike things that you should like. Because think about it, that's what they're doing. And
yeah, there's got to be some beat the algorithm videos, aren't there?
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're buying time by slowing down the process by doing that. And in a way, it's a form of like misinformation, but it's misinformation for the right reasons.
Al Gore probably thinks I'm like Gates and Schwab's like top fan. Like, I really like them because I post about them all the time. Maybe it's really maybe it can't judge context. I definitely think there's something in it though. What you said about the camouflage.
Yeah.
There could be some sort of argument that when you're putting some of their little signs and stuff in, that you could blend in with the background.
Well, I think this is something that will have to be considered as we move forwards and we go through this transitional period from like the physical into the digital, with regards to being invisible or being a grey person and being able to camouflage yourself and to be able to go freely about your business in this realm, either digitally or physically.
Well, I mean, I think we're already doing that to a certain extent with this show. You know, there's no one else that's getting away with saying what we're saying on Facebook, because we're using really deep slang and our own, to a certain extent, our own language. Some people wouldn't have a fucking clue what we're talking about.
Wow.
You know, there's a lot of satire, a lot of irony. Sometimes we wear stupid costumes. You know.
Yeah, because sorry, just to quickly say this before I forget. There's one thing that like algorithms and digital platforms and robotics and things like that, artificial intelligence. One thing they really struggle with. Well, actually, there's a couple of things, main things that they struggle with. One is sense of humor, and the other one is empathy. they're literally like the two things that they really can't get the gist of. And that they're also the two things that you can use to be a bit of a digital wizard.
Mm. Yeah.
Do you remember that film? I'm trying to think what the name of the film is, where they interview the replicants, and they have to use. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and
yeah, that's it.
In the interview, they have to use empathy, and the replicants really can't get the gist of empathy.
Yeah. So the example of when they're interviewing the guy at the start of the film, it's like you're walking through a really hot desert. Just imagine you're there, and the guy they're interviewing can't, and he starts getting really. He's already getting like really distracted, and he's like, "Yeah, you're walking through a desert. There's a turtle." No, he goes, "There's a tortoise." No, he goes, "A turtle in the desert." And he goes, "Why would you be a turtle in the Why would you have a turtle in the desert? It's dry." He goes, "Okay, a tortoise." So he stops it, and the point is, it's on its back. What do you do? You know, empathy. You'd flip it over. But the guy they're interviewing, he can't even answer the question.
Yep.
And yeah, well, I think he was a replicant.
That scene is probably one of the most important scenes in a science fiction movie. To give you a good example of what artificial intelligence and algorithms are like, I would say that character or the replicants are representing the algorithms and AI.
Yeah. And then if we put all this together and we think about these people that we call NPCs, right? And then we think about Harari and his hackable humans talk, and the Britney Spears and the Pento Jizzle, and what we're seeing all around us. And we call it Divok AI. COVID-19, Divok 19, that's the letters AI in numeral. It's literally Divok AI. We make jokes about this. But what we're seeing around us now?
Certificate of.
Well, we're seeing it. They're telling us that that's what they're going to do. They're going to make us hackable animals. We're hearing that inside the Britney Spears is these heavy metals like graphene, which then we can see a video of how graphene is affected by these electromagnetic frequencies. And then we're seeing people act like zombies, like they're having.
Wow. And if it has got the full capacity that I think it has, they could literally bring them back like that after it's done its duty.
Yeah, I mean, that leads to a completely different kind of rabbit hole, because there is talk of, as an example, that once you're able to trick a soul or essence out of the body could then be placed into some kind of storage, ready for resurrection, so that other energies or entities from other craters can then come here for a holiday for 150 years.
Which brings your old mate Travis Scott back in.
Yeah.
And Godvag.
Yeah, massive shout to Godvag. I think I'm gonna have to watch that one again when the show's over and I go and chill out, because I was having a break while most of that was on. All right, yeah, we've got to like 4 hours. I said I was going to do a 3 or 4 hour show tonight, so we'll wrap it up soon. JD's driven a long way down for his weekend at the seaside. So next week I'll get the thumbnail up. Next week we have got this awesome show lined up, breathing, meditation and wellness episode, and we've actually touched on quite a bit of this tonight, so I think this will be really nice to go a little bit deeper next week. Sam from Toroidal Dynamics is the guy that I stayed with when I went out to Mexico, who I did the Tezmacao ceremony with. He's going to be leading a guided breathwork session live in the show. So everyone that's watching, wherever you're watching from, as long as you can hear us and you can hear what he's saying, you'll be able to take part, all of us together, which would be really cool. He's going to talk about his transition from a professional boxer to breath work and wellness, and he's a bit of a spiritual guru, to be honest. And we've also got Commander Sagehead coming on. He's not really coming on to show memes. I know he's going to bring some memes, but he's also going to be talking about horticulture, plants for wellness, maybe speaking a little bit about foraging as well. So we're going to have a really nice chilled episode. I'll have a little bit of a slideshow, obviously, just to catch up.
I'll definitely be tuning into that.
Yeah, I've asked Oma Beats to prepare like a nice chilled out set, maybe something like real uplifting spiritual reggae, something like that. I don't think he's got any proper chill out music. So yeah, that's next week. We will take a break the week after that, and then we'll come back with Customer Services Part 5, where everyone can call in the show, tell us what they're thinking about World War 33 and everything that's happened since the last call-in, the last Customer Services show. Any final thoughts from yourself, Master Lee, before we reconvene next week?
Well, I think we've covered a lot of good stuff tonight.
We have.
And 2 weeks is a long time. So when it comes to the future shows, we could be talking about some very interesting or more interesting stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. That's why I've got to keep a little section open each week to discuss what's been going on, even if we have got a theme, because so much is going on. JD, mate, it's been amazing having you here. Truth be told, Guerrilla Republic UK.
Yeah, get at me on Telegram, t.me/official truth be told. There'll be more content on there when I've actually sorted out my life a little bit.
Sam Carno's got the links, our admin. So if you want any of the links to JD stuff, his Bandcamp or his Telegram, you see Sam Carno for the links. Here it is.
Try and buy the music, see if they let you.
Yeah, see if you can actually download his music from Bandcamp. It doesn't seem like they're allowing it.
Yeah, I just want to say to JD to keep up the good work, and you got my support, even if it's from a distance.
Well, I was saying earlier, like, if you were closer, you'd be employed as my personal trainer.
Well, you never know. You never know. Yeah, we can manifest it.
And I think when I get the chance, I'd like to come up and see what you're doing with your projects. Bring the GoPro.
Well,
make a little weekend out of it. Make a little video.
My boy Steve's been smashing it, growing organic crops and helping me sort mine out, and then Tara's down at his place. So I think we can create a community, and you guys can be the voice to help us get the word out.
Absolutely.
When there's surplus and people are in need, we can pass on them vegetables and do cheap organic trays or whatever, just to help people and help ourselves at the same time.
No, it's brilliant, mate.
You know what I mean? We've got to help each other.
JD is officially part of the Rise Above Collective, as is Terra. When the new websites come in, we're going to have sections for these boys to start spreading their knowledge as well, keep you updated with what they're doing. This is a family thing, it's a family movement. Thank you very much for coming along.
Respect.
Everyone that has been tuning in tonight, big up yourselves. Don't forget to subscribe to the other channel, which is in the description. ODYSEE, BitChute, Telegram, riseabove.use/shop for all of the merchandise. We will see you next week. Rise Above.
Rise above.
Rise above.
Let's have a tune to finish off with.
So the spirits come along and they say to me, you have to go into the jungle and you're going to drink ayahuasca. So I went into the jungle, I found a shaman, and I drank ayahuasca. And during that first